Good evening, lads. It's another beautiful day, and we're here to see what is happening with this beautiful, beautiful game and its lore. Now, as you might know, there are multiple stories and things you have to do in Atoraxxion. In fact, they decided that instead of giving us the whole story, they're gonna give us a dungeon per dungeon. I have looked around and some people were happy with Atoraxxion. Good for them. And people are wondering, when's the next content coming out, guys? So when faced with such a question, Black Desert looked at the players in the eyes and said, Land of the Morning Light Part 2, baby! Woo! Land of the Morning Light Part 2.
Got the last floor of the inn. While today we are going to play Yolunakea, the third part of Atoraxxion, unfortunately we won't be able to play Orzekea, the last part of Atoraxxion, anytime soon because it was never released. Vahmalkea was released in 2020, if I remember correctly. Then we had Sycrakea in... No, probably it was 2021. Yeah, by the way, we're still waiting for Orzekea, which is the fourth and last part of Atoraxxion.
Anyway, so the whole point of the joke I was making is that while we were waiting for Atoraxxion Part 4, we seem to be getting anything but Atoraxxion Part 4. The Magnus, Land of the Morning Light, Yolunakea, none of this says anything with Atoraxxion. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to wait and see what they plan to doing with Atoraxxion, or if somehow Endlave managed to go on his magnificent horse to the HQ of Pearl Abyss, and with his bald, shining head, he convinced the lead investors that actually Atoraxxion needs only 3 parts and not 4, and that they should probably revise their Ilesra story because it doesn't fit anymore. So, and they need to rework the other Atoraxxion story questline as well. Anyway, so it's time to see Atoraxxion Part 3, because if you remember, we know what happened up to Part 2. Ilesra essentially just followed us and was like, hey, thank you for doing this for me, yoink. Again. So we'll see, third time's the charms, right, folks? Alright.
Atoraxxion ruined plans.
And let the man read, okay? Like, I get scared, I have too much text. I'm used to simple things, okay? The Secret Guard sent us a letter. They want to meet up at Valley Lily Inn in Hyder. We've heard about what happened over on Everfrost.
Because let's remember that the last thing we did was to get the Yenix in Mountain of Eternal Winter, which wasn't clearly the Yenix because it was fucking purple.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, but the flame that gets gods and purifies everything definitely shouldn't be dark purple, and definitely shouldn't have Vahmalkea in it.
I'm still convinced it's not the Hadum either, but probably not even the creators know.
Okay. Oh well, no point in crying over spilled milk. We need to discuss a new plan. Remember, the reason of Everfrost is that the Secret Guards entrusted us for some reason with the fact of taking the Yenix just like that.
And the reason is because we are competent and they are not.
Yeah.
So the idea was we go into Atoraxxion, we start with Vahmalkea, because Ilesra is threatening to use the Heart of Atomagia and crack it, to break it, because this mechanism of the Heart of Atomagia has a sort of like a safe mechanism, we can tell, that when it breaks, the plan is to release 100,000 of Vathors, just like in Shingeki no Kyojin or Attack on Titan, free in the world. And of course, if you saw the Hathor like in the prelude of the game, the tutorial, we can call it like that, they are quite big and might deal quite of a damage. So imagine like 100,000 of Hathors coming like popping up like this and starting to raiding the whole world wouldn't be a very fun experience.
I should go on my kayak and watch the world burn. Since the ocean is so big, it doesn't matter how many there are of them. Like, seem like, I don't know.
So the point was like, okay, we have to stop this from happening. We have to prevent this from happening. So we go into Vahmalkea and try to get the Heart of Atomagia. But it's not in Vahmalkea. So we open the door after, and we find out that actually entering Vahmalkea was just a way to start the mechanism of Atoraxxion to get to the Heart of Atomagia, because actually the Heart of Atomagia, for reason you can see watching the stream about Sycrakea, was actually in Sycrakea. So Ilesra got the Heart of Atomagia, allegedly. So what was the point then? That actually we needed the Yinix to make it work, sort of like a fuel, allegedly. And where is the Yinix? Supposedly, allegedly, in the Mountain of Eternal Winter. Wasn't there. We don't know if it mutated, if someone took it, probably the Guardians. But wasn't the Yinix. And now, finally, the portal to Yolunakea, the third part, is apparently open.
Yes. We need to discuss a new plan. They seem pretty recomposed in the letter, but I bet they'll be in pieces when we arrive. I don't want to miss that. Off to Valley in again. Anyway, the whole point is that the Yinix, you need to use the Yinix to call the... What the hell is it?
Alright, because every time, because we are not very smart, we have to go and talk to Lowen, and Lowen is going to tell us every time that we have to go up. My bad.
So... yeah, because you need the Yinix to use the Heart of Atomagia, otherwise the Heart of Atomagia doesn't work, apparently.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
We were just talking about you before coming down. Those friends of yours rented out the entire third floor again. They just paid me to go find you, but looks like I made some easy silver. Head on upstairs. What do you mean by who's up there? Same friends you've always got around. That odd couple, the stocky man and the tall lass.
Laughing, Martha.
The clouds come over that pair of honeymooners this time, it seems. Could there be trouble in paradise?
No one is going to ship them, I'm sorry, developers.
Yeah, no, it's not happening.
That was fast. You were already on your way. Oh, every day this inn finds new ways to separate us from our silver.
You! What in Elian's waxed ankles happened out there? Now that you've made this mess, I hope you're ready to dig us out of it.
Now, calm down, everyone. How can you say the fault lies solely upon their shoulders? Were we not the ones who set that burden there? Of course, adding Jordine into the mix was unexpected.
Look here, sure we sent you out on that mission alone, but Jordine, really? Did the mountain air freeze your brain cells? Not only that, the Yinix! You just let him drink it down like a pint of me, did you? What's that about? You gave him a solid beating in Calpheon. Why in the world did you let him traipse all over you this time?
Fun fact, we gave more than a solid beating. We actually fucking killed him. Yeah.
We put him to sleep.
And he went back into the portal, which usually happens. The issue is that once you go back into the portal, you do come out, but you don't have your memories or anything, because the point is the other world absorbs you.
Yeah,
like...
in fact, they'll have to change this part. But technically should be included in the rework of Serendia, because the whole point of the rework of Serendia is that it should include also the first part of Calpheon that right now is included in the second part of the three crossroads, right? Because right now we have the three crossroads, all the three of the crossroads end in Calpheon City and include part of the story of the first part of Calpheon. So the idea is to get until there, so allegedly.
Okay, I'm saying even in the reworked storyline, in Balenos, when you defeat the goblin leader, he recovers some of his intelligence, but he loses it because he explained he dies due to the hunger and everything. So what I'm saying that this whole part of the story, and don't spin this shit on me, okay? Like the whole part of the story doesn't make sense because Jordan was sent back to the portal as it is. If they rework it, maybe, but I don't see how we don't end up not killing Jordan, because the whole point is that
because they are going to change the fact that he gets absorbed in the he gets absorbed into the Belmont thingy, but it's not the rift, because so far they rework the rift in a way that technically someone, a man clad in black robes, is going around providing wishing blackstones, totally not a reference to the Behelit from Berserk, personal opinion, to the chiefs of the various groups.
okay, yep.
And my idea is that while this will be still true for other bosses, for example, the bag and so on, Arundi, I really hope they will quote more Arundi in the rework main quest, because it's very important history for Serendia. But in my opinion, they will change the story of Jordan in a way that he won't get his power related to the wishing blackstone, but exclusively concerning Belmore, that will be something different.
Okay,
So he won't absorb back into the portal, and this will make sense for...
okay, yeah.
It's the only way I can see it work.
Yeah, of course. They'll fix it just like Ulukita. Let's go.
How many times do I have to tell you? The flame that Jordine took wasn't the Yenix.
Okay, you see this phrase? Stamp it, tattoo it to your eyeballs, and tell us how we were wrong when we were making the posts during Everfrost. That it was the Yenix. Yes, sir, that is me.
Phoenix, whatever the name was, it isn't important.
Of course it's important. The fact that it wasn't the Yenix is crucial. If it was the real Yenix, Jordine would have been burnt alive. Though,
Yes, burn
why
him.
did the people of Everfrost mistake it as such? Why was there an imposter flame in place of the Yenix? Not to mention, in the records you discovered, it mentions that the Yenix never made it back to Everfrost.
Well, that's an even bigger problem. What does that make the purpley flame?
The
then?
fact that Luffy doesn't know
Of course,
this is
Jordine's
painful to
now
me.
got his hands on some unknown power.
Oh my god. Brother, it's... I salute you, bro. I salute you. It's been a long time.
That's right, Luffy. We've no more time to waste. I'm going to recap our exploits into Sycrakea and Everfrost.
Yeah, because in Atoraxxion they started to do these things like in the previous episodes of Atoraxxion Adventures.
My god. That might be wow. If I had to guess, I don't know. I've seen a lot of heroes. You're not the first one or the last one. But maybe Arch? Maybe? I'm getting popular here. Like,
Atoraxxion, the great stronghold designed to fend off the black spirits, was built by Rux Maha Dehkia and his 4 disciples, the Dehkimas. In Sycrakea, we revealed the true nature of the heart of Atomagia. The heart is capable of commanding the 100,000 Ator, as well as relaying thoughts and emotions between the 4 Dehkimas.
If destroyed, Atoraxxion will be assumed to have fallen, and the 100,000 Ator will be ordered to mercilessly slaughter everything in sight. A truly fierce
oh my god.
device.
And you just let it fall into Elezra's hands, did you? She pulled your strings throughout Vahmalkea.
Kiona, is that you? Jesus Christ. If it's Kiona, I'm gonna put in perspective. They introduced me also back. One of the main reasons I was back in
no
video.
shame in being so judgmental.
Holy crap, man.
Weren't you just lazing about while Yaz and the rest of us were trying to save the world? All you have is your good-for-nothing mouth.
So again,
Not really trying.
what are you going to do
Martha,
about
though.
it?
No, Martha's
Right,
still
Lesra. We couldn't afford to be playthings of that witch any longer, so we went after her ultimate goal, the Yenix. So we sent our hero to seal it tight in Everfrost, but instead we found something unexpected where the Yenix should have been.
The Yenix. Labreska's death confirms the flame isn't within the bounds of Everfrost as well. Because
Okay,
if the flame
okay.
burnt Kozarka of Orzekea and was then returned, Labreska wouldn't have perished.
Because the person entrusted with the flame had to come, Silverfrond,
Yeah.
the dragon fucker, also known
The
as,
dragon fucker.
while coming back to Labreska, as he promised, we have to recognize him that he got found by Dracania, who beat his ass. And, yeah.
Not beat it, he killed them. Like,
Yeah. I was trying to be family friendly. But yeah, the Dracania killed Silverfrond, and Labreska wasn't very happy about it. We found out in Everfrost that she was consumed by a piece of chaos. So by the black energy, a black spirit is not very clear yet how exactly it works.
yeah.
But the Yenix apparently is the cosmic force able to keep at bay the chaos that is the black spirit.
I mean,
and
if
the black
a
energy.
flame can kill the gods, one would argue that a black spirit don't stand a chance against it.
Well, we still don't know. Like, in my opinion, we know that the black spirit and the black energy are modeled around of, first of all, the concept of ambition that can push you, but if it consumes you, is greed. And then they kind of change it into the concept of chaos and entropy, which is what usually is opposed to order.
Yep.
You know, the chaos order.
Just in saying, Kiona, if you come back, we can do some Node Wars. I got a good character for once.
The people that left with Silverfrond were called the Knights of Dawn, right? Where
Yeah.
did they take the flame instead of returning it?
Yeah, see, so I was right. It was the Knights of Dawn that took the flame, but we're not sure where.
Yep.
But we do know that there are embers of this flame existing because Guardians.
Seems like we don't have any options left but to follow
Oh.
the witch into Yolunakea. We need to stop her from activating the heart of Atoraxxion.
Yes, I think that much was already quite apparent. Thank you, Eden.
Yeah, thank you, Eden.
The heart is activated by blood shed in fierce competition or sacrifice, judging from those messages. Save me, get me out. I'm waiting. We can be fairly certain that Elezra plans to use the architects as sacrificial offerings.
No, Martha.
No, Martha.
No, Martha. No. I will never. I'm sorry, Perlabis, but I'm not going to buy this theory. Not for 1 second.
Basically, say I'm eyeing both of those, and
But
we
we
have.
couldn't just let her keep yanking us around like ragdolls, so Yaz did a little preliminary investigation of Yolunakea while you were gone. The
Oh, no.
object we found
no.
in Sycrakea, Yolun's eye, was crafted out of light stones. They seem to have all come from Yolunakea. It's practically overflowing with them. So Yaz requested Dalashane to investigate the matter further. You know, she's the last that recently got famous for her paper on light stones.
Yeah, because the fact that they have papers in Black Desert Online is quite funny, if you ask me. It would have been better, like, famous for her research on light stones. Would have made more sense.
It's like they're making Black Desert too modern. The whole point of Black Desert was to be a medieval dark fantasy. And in medieval dark fantasies, you do have universities, but they're very rare. Like only 1% of the people, 0.1% of the people get there. So like only nobles and very high people. Like you can't have like an open college with papers and things where knowledge flows.
Yeah, but also like it's universities, college and whatnot, but in a Renaissance Italian idea, because you know that the first university were born in Italy, and but
Bologna,
of course it wasn't like nowadays. It was like a bunch of scholars doing research and doing basically peer-to-peer to really simplify
basically,
it.
it was a bunch of people getting drunk together and coming up with new ideas. But that's what I'm saying. Like, they have too much knowledge.
Yeah, like, but the paper doesn't make sense. A book, a research makes sense. A paper is something like of recent universe. So like, I guess here is a translation. Yeah, translation mistake. And also, let's remember that we found a lot of lightstones that basically makes you hollow because they suck your soul out of you, your consciousness, whatever makes you alive and conscious. And
Just like a wife.
And the point is that Sycrakea was full of those stones, which also we use, but we are special. Because we treat them in a certain way that's main character syndrome.
Yeah, it's just it's main character syndrome.
And but the one that are in Sycrakea are actually those that are quite dangerous. And one of the theories is that Sika, the architect of Sycrakea, was a little bit peculiar, unhinged because of the lightstones. But why was he full of lightstones? Because he had a crush on another one of the architects, Yolu, the architect of Yolunakea, who was simping actually of Vahmalkea. It's fucking beautiful here.
Yeah, it's like
soap opera sort of shit. Because so far, what we understood is that Vaha fell in love with Orz.
yes.
But also Sika saw Yolu with Vaha. Because Yolu was also crushed on Vaha. But apparently Vaha was having the double relationship just because he wanted to keep everyone under his control. Even if apparently he was really loving Orz. Now, Sika was in love with Yolu. Yolu felt piety towards Sika, and as a consolation reward, participation reward
to the courting dance,
gave him the lightstone. The lightstone probably amplified
his dark feelings, and then he went unhinged. Yeah, but
exactly.
The point is also that we don't know the architects. We never met them. I think that Yolu did it on purpose.
But what?
Giving the lightstones.
They were no, because in theory they didn't really know how the lightstone worked.
Okay.
So the idea is that.
Yeah, but I like to think that she did it on purpose. Okay, like don't ruin my fantasy. Thank you very much. It's a fantasy roleplay game. Let me roleplay onto it.
Okay, I'm just saying they were teenagers.
Yeah.
Putting a bunch of kids while transitioning to teenage, so going from childhood to adulthood, all together to do like, okay guys, save the world while I hibernate myself. This was Rux Maha Dehkia. Like, and then leaving them with weapons and weird energies, lights on, like, what could possibly go wrong?
Hey, what I'd like to underline here is that in Rux Maha Dehkia's defense, the concept of a teenager does not exist in medieval setting. So
yeah, but puberty exists.
The concept of teenagers that we know today, of people being whiny little bitches, did not exist in medieval times.
No, my point is like teenager as a person who's going, like, I didn't want to say teenager, I want to say transitioning between childhood to adulthood through puberty, because they would kind of like wanted to fuck each other like no tomorrow.
Yeah.
Those for little young adults. So
I mean, that's how they had, you know, like, it makes sense that it'd be a little bit crazy.
Yeah, like, it was like a perfect recipe for having 4 unhinged young adults destroying the world.
Basically, it's American
it.
Pie with extra steps. Alright, let's keep going, please.
I'm striking out for the Forest of Seclusion first. We'll follow shortly after we've finished organizing these documents we received from the Society.
Okay, so apparently they have some documents from our society. Oh, before you take your leave, could you hand over the rest of your payment to Lowen?
Again?
I've handed over the advanced portion of the payment to him to go look for you. Should be on your way, so if you don't mind. Okay, so I guess voice actors broke.
Or
Happens.
they decided to add this part after, so it wasn't voice acted.
I hope AI develops itself hard enough that we actually get voice acted things. Oh, my word, you're here to settle the balance? Never thought I'd hear those words. I mean, truth be told, technically you found yourself, but it's all good to me, much obliged.
Why are you wandering around like that?
Yeah. Well. What? You want to... Yolunakea? Right now? Aha. Alright, if you say so.
Okay, that was very weird.
What the fuck just happened? Okay. Alright, let's go.
I guess they had to cut away something.
Very, very weird. Like I didn't expect it like this. But okay. So yeah, like I really think that in Black Desert they're gonna need to start reworking hardcore and actually put very good story or like very good ways for people to interact with the world. Like more than what they have, because as a viewer said, there's like multiple games coming out soon, and they all promise amazing interaction with the world or stories. So and they come from people who already did MMOs in the past, right? So like they need to wake up and actually like start delivering high level things, because as I said, as of today, the experience of a Black Desert player is very bad after you finish Balanos.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see.
Just astounding! If people thought I was famous now, just wait! You're asking where Yaz went and what I'm doing? I was dating the Sycrakea and Lightstone that Yaz brought. By borrowing
Hating the
control of
Sycrakea
Spirit's
Lightstone.
nest. How? That's a secret.
Meaning that she was measuring to date, to find the date they were made in.
I know, but...
No, it was just,
Phrasing.
I was just explaining what this means, and yes, the phrasing is very bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, what Yaz brought wasn't just any old Lightstone. It doesn't contain any of the known elements. Earth, fire, wind, flora, or heart.
Yeah, of course, the 5 elements, flora, which is not earth, and heart, which is whatever, man. Pokemon has weirder elements, so.
Theoretically speaking, there can be no such thing as a Lightstone without an element.
And that's
There
false.
isn't a medium to hold the energy, then it spirals out of control and goes boom. Oh, but it actually exists. And the more fascinating fact is, it's an 8,000-year-old ancient relic.
8,000-year-old relic.
Now, I like to remind everyone that the time in Atoraxxion is distorted.
Like in Lord Run.
Just who was this genius Yolu? Can you go relay to Yaz what I told you? She said she'll wait for you at the ancient stone chamber.
I'm actually curious if...
Which looking for?
Yeah, so iridescent light stones. Empty ball can fill with energy of fire, earth and wind. It needs to be used in combination with other light stones to draw out its powers. Okay.
Yeah, because usually flora are for life skills. Fire is damage. Wind is utility.
The light stone to the PvP light stone costs 700 million each. Lord Jesus, have mercy.
Yeah, yes.
Fucking hell. They need to remove Yaz.
That
Yeah.
thing was actually super valuable? Could it be? Could Yolu have rivaled my genius? Let's not get hung up on that, assistant. It's been a while. I've heard all about your latest biggest screw-up. But no long faces now. I, the great Yaz, have already got it all figured out. Oh, I've also discovered that Yolu's light stones were for another biome outside of the 4 biomes of Atoraxxion.
And then we get
That place
5 biomes
seems
of
to be somehow
Atoraxxion.
connected to your black spirit? There were mentions of manifest the Dark Invaders, seal, torture, things of that nature. I was thinking maybe this other biome is the prison of Atoraxxion. I'm fairly sure this is where Lesra had the architects imprisoned.
Yes, of course, bro.
So, this time, let's find the prison without Lesra knowing. Then we can sneak the architects out. She won't even have a clue what happened.
Yeah, of course. Totally. Lesra will not just sneak past us and get the third thingy.
Confirming Overseer of Sycrakea permissions. Access to Yolunakea granted.
Okay. And you must pick Yolunakea, okay? Don't pick the first two, you pick the Yolunakea and we do solo entry. Meaning you don't get any rewards, it's for story.
And you get the rewards of the story if you are doing the story, of course.
But it's once per family. My god, how many loading screens? Like, I'm on the third one. Bro took us on like a loading screen trip. Ah, yes.
Yolunakea, the 3rd stronghold of Atoraxxion.
It's basically the valley in Orzekea. Oh, sorry, Atoraxxion as it's called nowadays.
Shall never evade the eyes of the
Odilita.
day.
Around Atoraxxion anyway, who cares? Okay. I wanna see.
Because let's remember that in the good old days, Odilita was a donut, where it had...
Okay, so this time I don't see you.
Oh, nice.
Last time was so creepy.
It was like all dark or darkness and light in the middle, or vice versa. I don't remember what was. I guess all light and dark in the middle. And that's why this is called the Eye of the Day, because it was supposed to be the zone of the light of the ancient Odilita.
Yes, unfortunately, they kind of put an update where darkness doesn't really matter anymore. Because in early Black Desert, when it was first released, darkness was dark and part of the game mechanics, where monsters would become stronger. It was hard to see unless you had a lantern. With the lantern, you'd see only around you. And now the game is so light that you don't really see these things. In fact, that's why I hate playing on Remastered, because Remastered is even lighter than this. This is supposed to be on very high, meaning this is with the old game engine, but you can still see it's so light and think I don't see the darkness.
I'm very happy to see this.
I'm very happy for you. Let's keep going.
I was wondering what kind of records we'd find here. And now that my assistant is here, we can finally find out. Will it be systematic like Baja's Stronghold, or neglected like Sika's Stronghold?
My god, you have to flame him when he's dead.
Assistant, quickly!
Perhaps.
Leave the whole memory shard here. We'll need your black spirit's power.
I thought you'd come straight after me in Yolunakea. But in Everfrost, you caused quite the ruckus.
So she knows
Reference.
everything.
You already know that, don't you? Don't forget, wherever you may go, I'll always be there.
The
She
toxic ex.
startled me. But, was it just me, or did she sound upset?
We have to play this in the Korean voice because like Ilestra sounds so monotone in English.
I like her voice actor, actually.
It's not a like or hate situation. I'm saying she sounds very monotone, so I couldn't tell that she was pissed.
Wait a
I could,
moment.
but...
Okay, so investigate Yoluzai.
Yolunakea, the day of Atoraxxion. Architect, Yolu. Overseer, unknown. Anomaly, Dark Invader energy signature detected.
Unable to gauge variants of Dark Invader wavelengths, decreasing combat readiness to level 1. Rune Magia self-defense measures, active, transitioning to idle state. Idle state, active. It should need to
If you want to make a good remix for Black Desert, take this part and turn it into a remix.
Oh, it's not stealing your companion's powers like in Vahmalkea. I'm fairly sure this stronghold is broken.
Yes, the stronghold is broken. Because he was made... Never mind. But the point is... that for me, I would have preferred if the first stronghold was broken, and as you go through, they become more functional, therefore harder to survive. But apparently the easiest stronghold to defeat is the one that's not broken, so it's...
What's the easiest program to deal with? A functioning one or a bugged one?
Yeah, but I'm talking about like the defense thingies and whatever. It doesn't make sense for them to be functioning.
Too bad she was too scared to come in.
I'm happy that Alishan was too scared to come in, because I can't handle two shies in one party.
Honestly, I panicked when I first thought they were Orzekan lightstones too. Who wouldn't be terrified of light-devouring lightstones?
Why are you not Atoraxxion? Like, what?
But assistant, you can't go putting your paws all over it. There's no telling what kind of energy lies dormant inside. Be careful.
My God.
I don't think she found them all. I wanted to hunt down the answer, but I needed my trusty assistant by my side. Oh, I have something else to show you. Definitive proof that this stronghold is broken.
Like my patience, yes. Like my patience.
Yeah. It's a yellow ancient weapon. It's not moving. It looks a lot like the golems at Oland Valleys in Odelita. As I said. Investigate Yellow's ancient weapon that lost power.
Vaha and Sika. They both had different ways of operating their stronghold, but both reacted to your Dark Invader, didn't they? But this one, it must be broken because... But this one, it must be broken because it's not reacting at all. Places like these are the worst. You know what I mean? It's hard to predict what'll happen here. Is everything as it seems, or is this a trap that Yolu set on purpose?
And that's why I actually like what you don't.
What do you mean it doesn't matter? Where's your adventurous energy? Let's head over there. That'll get your blood flowing again.
That doesn't matter, it's so you.
Yeah. Oh, pure lightstone. Yoink. Boom. Oh. Lightstone on a tree. Wow. Banana. This you guys like the...
Venus connection available. No errors detected on saved data.
This right here. There's ancient text written here. See?
I don't see the ancient text. I guess they should focus the camera on the bottom part that we can't see.
Just as I told you.
There you go. That's the ancient text.
Input devices connected to the archive. They definitely weren't here when I was investigating it earlier. Ah, your arrival probably triggered the Stronghold's activation assistant. This archive seems to be powered by lightstone energy. Assistant, do you see any hints to unraveling this thread? Huh? Look! A different color light came on!
I don't know why it's the same.
Yeah, let's check the hexahedron. Interact with Yolo's archive to deactivate access restriction, and a sash with 4 different colors and patterns will be created. Force fields with different color. Okay, this is okay. So essentially, you have 4 different spheres, which will have a certain order where they need to go to. You need to stand on the platforms to stop the sphere, and you need to stop them in a way that they go in the right order.
So basically, you will see 3 different circles in the center with different colors. And for example, I don't know, it's yellow, orange, green, blue. It means that first the yellow shall touch the center, then the orange, then the green, then the blue. And in order to accomplish this order, you'll have to stop the faster ones by stepping on their platforms.
Alright.
You can skip.
Law
Okay.
of processing imperfect light stones. Destroyed elements proportionate to required light stones. Delpalinas connection available. No errors detected on saved data.
Pip.
Huh? Did we really crack that encryption? This is it? Compared to the other strongholds, this is a cakewalk.
It's actually horrible because it's depending on your
Easy,
ping.
in my opinion. Assistant, look around quickly. This also could be a trap.
Yeah. The issue of this is that not only the ping but also the general desync of the game, and like it's painful because they are all very close, so you have to be very precise about it.
Yeah.
Still think it's far too quiet, but while we have a moment, let's take a look. Swear to not act in secrecy due to envy of others?
Saving the world from the Dark Invaders' arrival in 49 years. That is our mission. Master said our mission doesn't end there. Our ultimate goal is to find the impact site and completely eradicate them. Master said it will be Orz and I that will be at the center of it all.
So, stop the Dark Invaders, find the impact site, and completely eradicate them. What's this now? Here's a message left by Master Dehkia for Orz and Yolu.
Only
Proud
them.
Dehkima, Yolu, and Orz. The day you embark on your long and arduous journey approaches. A journey that will lead you to an unusual land where mysterious powers flow. Yolunakea, the land of endless days. And Orzekea, the land of longest nights. There, a material that will illuminate the epicenter of darkness, where chaos lies. It is called the Lightstone, a material unlike any other in this world. Lightstones are very volatile. Depending on how they are utilized, they could either save this world or destroy it. Therefore, I am sending the two of you, alone and unaided. Return safely, and the future coordinates will be waiting for you within your paradise.
Basically, it's like radioactive material.
Future coordinates. Is he talking about the Black Spirit's impact site? Oh, it goes on. Dehkia is asking something of them. Let's finish reading.
Yolu and Orz, your hearts are still unburdened, yet bear strength beyond measure. I doubt this shall come to pass, but I still must give you this warning. Believing that the world runs according to the will of the gods is to deny ourselves mastership over our own lives. Remember this well, for there are no gods to save this world. If any being is referred to as such in the unknown lands, be wary. For you to believe in them, put all your faith in them. It would be tantamount to betrayal. Faith in gods signifies weakness in your heart. When your heart is weak, think of this place and your kindred disciples here.
Bro is a certified Redditor.
Which is interesting because in the previous part of the Stronghold where Sycrakea was, we heard him speaking of the the sinner stronghold, because apparently he thought that everyone was corrupted by the goddess of darkness. Orz found in the land they went to study, because the whole point was to send the 4 architects to study actual places in the world. For example, Sycrakea inspired himself from Sycrakea, the underwater ruins, Vaha inspired himself from Akman and Istria, that back in the days were called Astra and Akman and Histra, something like that. While Orz and Yolu were sent to what now is Odilita, and back in the days apparently was this donut of light and darkness that changed with time. The idea is there, Orz found the goddess of darkness. According to the Ganel, the goddess of darkness was Sylvia who fell from the heaven. Because Godrai kicked her out after trying to conquer her paradise. Then Godrai was kicked out in turn by Hadum. However, not everyone agrees on the fact that this twisted version of Sylvia became the goddess of darkness. So we don't actually know who this goddess is. Some others say it's Hadum, but again, unlikely if you ask me. We don't know. The official answer is. And apparently, in that occasion, Orz became one of her adepts and slowly but surely convinced everyone to pass on her side and to trust the goddess.
Yep.
This is similar to what Dehkia said to Sika, but against the Master's expectations, Orz began to worship the goddess of darkness.
It's been a month since our return to Atoraxxion, but Orz rarely makes an appearance at Protokea. Did she forget her promise to our master, or break it? I've spent a whole season researching lightstones alongside Dehkia. It took countless failures, explosive reactions, but we finally managed to create imperfect lightstones that could hold elemental powers within them. Though we've got them into a stable state, that's the extent of our ability. I can only dream of the day when we can draw out their full potential.
Which is basically nowadays, since nowadays we have the perfect lightstones that can be used in the artifact to enhance our abilities.
Yolu is a bit like Vaha, isn't she? She was so hardworking. What's this? Oh! This next part looks familiar.
There wasn't any further progress made that season, or the next. But after that, we were able to figure out how to imbue the elements into those imperfect lightstones. Imbuing the power of fire required the most stones, but was the easiest, while imbuing the power of flora required the least stones, but was the hardest. This breakthrough meant they could now be used immediately, but the stored energy was quickly depleted. At that time, however, Master's mantra was quantity over quality, as the stones will be used on the day of our assault. Then, the world will follow the lead of Atoraxxion. He said the power held within these stones was already far too much for those in the outside world, so they would suffice as they are.
Then, what was he planning to do with all the lightstones he had before discovering they could be imbued with elements?
Bombs.
Master said that there is no such thing as a material without a purpose. The lightstones that are not imbued with elemental powers will be used to manifest the Dark Invaders, then seal them. However, there's no way I want to stop there. I will imprison them, torture them.
Okay, you look kinky as shit.
Over them. Furthermore, I will turn that epicenter of hell into my verdant oasis. My perfect paradise. Like Yolunakea.
Huh. Yolu. A scarier architect than I initially thought.
Sika, you dodged the bullet, my brother.
I can fix it.
Huh? Look over there! A light suddenly came on. What more did Elezra leave behind?
Look over there.
Connection available. No errors.
Look over there.
Let me out. I want to live.
Let me
We're
out.
all waiting for the day when we can see the sun again. Atoraxxion lost the source of its power. No one can get in or out but my pupil. It's still running thanks to the power of the light stones. Please, help!
This is definitely being said to us. Huh. What does she mean by pupil? It's probably a name for one of the areas here.
Because let's remember that each zone of each biome has different names that are supposed to represent the personality of the architect.
Anomaly detected. Yolu's nail. Alert. Energy
Yolu's
infusion
nail.
complete. Increasing to maximum combat readiness.
Ah, the stronghold is booting up! Now it's the real thing! Get your head straight, assistant! There are loads of live ancient weapons over there. Huh? How do I know? That's because that's as far as I got in my investigation. In other strongholds, they only reacted to black spirits and didn't even look at me. Here, maybe it's because they also use light stones as their power source, so they started attacking me even without the presence of black spirits.
Anomaly detected. Yolu.
Alright, so now we get to fight. I'm really hoping that they're gonna make it so the food that gives you HP experience, you'll be able to eat right away instead of waiting 30 minutes. I don't remember the thing is. My god, this is so awkward to play.
Trust me, better than the... Bless you.
Thank you. It doesn't matter if I remember or not, this class is broken.
Yeah.
You ain't got knowledge as well, you know.
Very
Assistant,
important.
you seem slower than before.
Remember
I'm
to loot,
here.
by the
It's
way.
another thread. But was it not completed? Or is it broken? Well, it's not normal. Oh, look at this record. Assistant, you seem slower than before.
Making threads was truly a headache. I'd rather be spending that time furthering my lightstone research. I had only thought of the threads as useful in the eventuality that Atoraxxion falls. However, after seeing Baja's biome, my opinion changed. Even when we were united in Atoraxxion,
simping
Baja
part 2.
still wasn't much to look at. Though, after seeing his stronghold modeled after Vahmalkea, he seemed radiant.
Oh.
Wasn't much to look at first, but seemed more attractive later. Is this where it all starts to crumble? Well, at first,
Yep.
I didn't think all that highly of you, assistant. But now, you're all right.
Can I
Still hate
kill-
you.
Like, it's so buggy, this thing.
Wasn't much to look at.
Like, yeah. Examine your record about Vahmalkea.
Baja's stronghold was like the sun itself. The very sun that brought the brilliant day to Yolunakea. In comparison, Sika's constructions were the fumbling darkness of night. It was clear as day that Sika felt inferior to Vaha, being the best, getting master's recognition. Are those all that important? I found Sika especially pitiful as he lost his light after coming back from Sycrakea. So, I gave him a lightstone from Yolunakea as a gift. Sika, poor creature. You cannot lose your light. We must all make it through to the end.
And that's why I was talking about participation reward for
Yeah.
Sika.
Yep.
Yeah,
Sycra then used that gift to create Yolun's eye as a sign of his growing fondness for her. But despite the depth of Sycra's emotion, Yolu actually didn't really think that much of him.
so like that was my point. She didn't do it on purpose. She said like, "Oh, take this, friend. Keep going." Woo.
Yeah, keep the light going.
Yeah.
And seriously, I think how much were we last night? 3-4 hours. How much did we play?
I can tell you, the stream lasted.
We actually did because you're right. It does make for some awesome roleplay content.
4 hours 30, more or less.
Yeah, we played last night 4 hours 30. It was beautiful.
I remember when we played like we streamed for 6 hours. Like,
Considering I went to work and everything, dude, like, I'm proud of myself. Let's continue.
The architects at Atoraxxion seem to have been especially sensitive. I mean, as war orphans gathered up and brought to an isolated place like this, how big of an influence would they have been to each other's lives?
Well, very big.
like war orphans, isolated to create their own biomes in a stronghold that had the purpose to save the whole world. The only thing they had was Rux Maha Dehkia in a copy version because, like, it was the only way to keep his body going, and they were going through puberty.
Oh my god!
Perfect.
These guys were onto. They were on so many levels of fucked up. It's like a whole Korean drama could be written about these 4 guys.
Dehkia.
How many
The
seasons do you think we
establishing
can
Atoraxxion
milk
was good,
Well,
but
about the imagine the Korean drama between these 4 architects.
when you get the special knowledge, you know, the one, it's their records, their diary, and you have both childhood and adulthood. I read some things about it, and there's some spicy shit in there.
My god. It's like, oh my god. Beguilement and query.
I was scolded by Master the day after I gave Sycra the Lightstone. He called my careless behavior beguilement.
My dear Yolu, did I not first warn you of this? We can't know the impact that bringing an unknown object into this small world will have. This stone, in the worst case scenario, absorbs all the light around it. But we have yet to identify what that light is. It could be the light that shines through this world. Or it could be the light that emanates from the soul.
He was onto
Sycra's
something.
duty is to fend off the Dark Invaders. He should be focusing on weapons research and production. Yet, his stronghold has ground to a halt after receiving your little gift. That wasn't kindness, it was foolishness.
never mind what I said about Dehkia being too harsh. He was right in cautioning them about the dangers of Orzekan Lightstones. An Orzekan Lightstone is crafted by adding the power of the Kuteron to a Lightstone, giving it the ability to absorb all light and rob living creatures of their will.
Very
Okay.
well.
Yes, kinda. The Kuteron was existing back then.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell on the timeline where we are with Atoraxxion.
Yeah,
because-
but technically the Kuturan was from the ancient Odilita, because you have to make the association that the Kuturan is the tree that birthed Zarka from one of its fruit and had the Oluns under its root.
Jesus Christ.
Right now, what we have is
Thinking about the
Turazilla.
history of Orzekea
Yeah.
always sends a chill down my spine. There doesn't seem to be any more records. Shall we go
And
over to the next
headache in
area?
Switz's head.
Yeah. I'm telling you, like, I understand the fists, but I prefer just splitting skulls open with my bare hands and throwing people off the map.
Get him, bitch!
Get him, bitch! Bam!
Oh, there's a bunch of weird devices. What's that? Is something coming down from above? Or is that where you go up? There's going to be a soul magia here somewhere.
Like, I wish we just pick Yazav and just...
Right?
Yeah,
Yes, more like
Go
it.
investigate way over there. Assistant, you can take care of this place.
Don't worry, guys, they're friendly.
Yes, of course.
You just have to hug them very hard. Yeah. I was... Usually I main stuff like Sorcerer, but for once I play Barbarian, I fell in love with it. I think I'm just gonna main Barbarian. Every playthrough, Barbarian to like throw things.
Did you talk to this Vahmalkea before something?
No, I didn't. Sucks to be me.
Attempt to access saved data detected. Next command undetected.
Did I have to talk with it? Uh-oh. Does that mean I... No, because it tells me to talk with the query one. I'm very confused. Wait, so I guess I have to go back now? Pain and suffering. Yeah, because this is sending me back. Right? I'm confused. Nope, it's not sending me back. Oh, because this looks like the other bit. I think I bugged it.
No, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, that thing works once per short rest though. I saw big thingies to kill, I want to kill big thingies. God damn it. But it's okay, I will go through... I know there's a way to return. I'm just gonna backtrack because I'm actually have a great special awareness. I think I'm backtracking. I'm going everywhere. Oh god, I'm spoiling everything.
Next time, please listen to me.
Prepared.
Yes. Okay, so let's think about it. Where the hell? Okay, must be this way. It's definitely not that way. What happens if I jump down? Well, shit. Oh, maybe there, maybe there. Okay, so this is the way back. Yeah, I got this.
Exchange damage at 35%. Damage detected on final memory.
How the hell do I get back?
Go out and go in again. I don't know what to tell you.
Actually, good point. I'm just gonna back, like...
Yeah.
Yeah, in the meantime, like... Yep. I think my favorite skill is when you deflect arrows and throw them back at people. It just feels cool. Goddamn soft locking myself into the dungeon. I wonder how many people do that.
Here, it's actually a big issue. But also in Sika.
Also, the other one is when you... I swear, it's broken when you stun someone. Because it's always... You make them skip a turn and you have advantage and you crit. That thing is disgusting. Oh boy. At least I get to train my character's stamina, which I don't have on seasonal characters. But it's okay, because see, I'm actually super fast. But this is why I'm so confused, because this part looks... It's exactly like the part where I was stuck. So I thought I was lucky because I could just backtrack, but no. In fact, it's called Yolu's Quarry. In fact, there's Yaz. And here you can see... I need to run. Okay, and... The sun control power, what is it?
Soul Magia. You have to talk with the Soul Magia.
That one. Apologies. Oh, okay. No, that's to return.
The other Soul Magia, I guess.
Oh, that one.
But in fact, like... I'll wait for you because I couldn't wait for you, because otherwise it gets bugged.
Next, Master told me to stop my research on lightstones for now and start focusing on weapon development. A weapon needs power, first and foremost. And power comes from one's physique. So I started by creating a power source able to move massive bodies. By applying the lightstone's properties, the weapon was not only functional, but saw a significant increase in power. Though, a clear flaw was brought to light. It could operate in immense bursts of power, but its speed and stamina were terrible. The energy efficiency of lightstone amplification was the worst. Master gave me the lowest evaluation, and we got into a heated debate. But that heat sparked the inspiration for a massive improvement. The Gladius is mine for the taking. I had to develop a special device capable of moving these enormous things. But making a thread already requires so much of my attention. Though, failing at this might mean I could never research lightstones again.
That's why you have only 60 seconds to kill them all.
Yeah.
Because they actually can't live for more than 60 seconds.
Yeah.
My god.
Oh, Vaha, I'm not smart like you. Nor tenacious like Sika. And I'm not detailed like Ors either. So huge projects like these are so difficult for me. Vaha then mounted his Rukios and casually said,
If it is for our mission, I'll gladly do it.
Anomaly detected. Record access terminated.
Hello.
Dark Invader wavelength.
It didn't let us read through the memory.
Levels of Yolu's sun, 10%. Searching for combat-ready giant weapon. Yolu's spine, not found. Yolu's pupil, not found.
Bruh, the whole thing is broken. You guys not finding shit.
Analyzing cause of failed search.
He's doing his best, okay?
Error. Energy reverse circulation detected. Destination set to Yolu's spine. Searching for alternative. Yolu's sun Stellagea. Switching to combat mode. Alternative weapon. Preparation complete.
Haha, the ancient weapon must be defending the control tower. That's defeated. Then let's go check out the control device. Odds of entering occurring 87.45%. Haha. Okay, now I get to defeat them.
You have to defeat all 3 of them and then make the... You know, when you have to combine. And then you have to talk to the pillar in the middle. So, defeat the thingies. Gather the... How they call the Colus. Kelwas. Defeat the Kelwas. Put in Ya's pouch the elements to create the potion. And then talk to the pillar in the center to be TP'd. You have to speak with the column 2 times because it's a little bit buggy. No, it's like 2 of different... You should have 2 types.
They're all added.
They should be called Burning Vine and Distorted Tear of Temptation.
Here? Is this the one I have to do?
Yeah.
Then Vaha and I spent roughly 10 days in
bit
my
of simping.
stronghold building
A bit of
giant
simping.
weapon transportation device. Yolu's son, his passion was intense.
His passion was
He went
intense, yeah, of
working
course.
all day and night for days on end. As I watched, at some point, he began to look like a sculpture, a work of art. His thick eyelashes, his well-defined nose, and his shoulders. How did I come to notice just now how broad his shoulders were?
Oh my god.
Vaha
Oh,
started
yeah.
to catch my eyes more and more as the days went by.
Attempt to access saved data detected. Next
Yep.
command undetected.
Activate. It's so stupid that you have to do this whole thing when you can actually just teleport.
Talk again with that because it's bugged.
Attempt to access saved data.
My goodness. Are all your limbs intact?
You are just extraordinary. That thing is a special device designed to move giant weapons. Can't believe you thought to take it for a spin. The dragon eggs on you. They must be made of pure black stone or something.
At this point, considering how much we enchanted.
Okay, now we are in play.
You really went up, and away. Take me along next time, will ya?
That's how they came.
Luckily, there's a perfectly good path over there. As you know, our tower-sized Choppy is scared of a lot of things.
You aren't
Martha.
really thinking of putting me on a military transporter? You know I've been itching for an excuse to cut off that beard of yours.
You wouldn't. You're not that cruel. I'd be like a lion without a mane.
Would someone so cruel bring pertinent documents from the Society of Equilibrium? These should make it much easier to understand the Stronghold. They're documents regarding the historical geography of Odilita.
Okay, here we go, boys. We're going to college. Chapter 1.
Long before the Ahib settled there, Odilita was known as Orzekea, the ancient kingdom. And even before that, it was divided into Orzekea and Yolunakea. Yolunakea was the land of light, with days nearly endless. Orzekea was the land of darkness, as their nights were equally long.
The record
The
states
donut.
that the day encircled the night. Like a donut. The physical border of modern-day Odilita likely constituted all of Yolunakea.
Did you just describe it as a donut? You must be hungry. But now that you've mentioned donuts, I'm getting hungry as well.
Actually, I'm curious about this. Wait, let's see.
Do donuts exist in Black?
19th century.
I mean, they are kinda industrial, so... They are kinda industrial products, so...
Yeah, but that's what I was wondering. It's like, this whole thing about donuts, cringe.
Anyway, the two lands had much in common. Both worshipped the earth god Tunta. In Orzekea, he was depicted as a sturdy bull. In Yolunakea, he was depicted as a slender buck. Then, one day, Orzekea absorbed Yolunakea, and only the name
Just like that.
Orzekea
It
remained
just
from
decided, you know what,
Orzekea
I'm gonna absorb this.
The strange part is that there is no way of knowing how that process happened. Did they intentionally not record it, or was it erased?
Very...
I mean, considering with what's actually
Convenient.
happening today, we would say that the records were erased. Chapter 3.
Only the point speculating of their union lies within Orzeka's records. If the night doesn't swallow the day, death will come to all. The light will
Kinky.
only beckon the irrefutable and the unavoidable darkness. All light must be expunged by a darker darkness. The society interprets this as a premonition of an approaching evil, and so they chose to eliminate the light.
Kinda like how Odilita is trying to eliminate Camasilvia, and because they think that you have to destroy Camasilvia to defeat the approaching evil. It sounds as if it's a circular thing.
Yeah, because we have this thing that the light of Camasilv, or for example, Turazil as well, so these soul trees, interdimensional trees, attract the chaos and the darkness.
Yes, I don't buy though.
But there is skepticism about whether Yolunakea really was the land of light, because there were nearly no signs of living creatures on the surface. There
Something
was
can
the
sleep,
Olin
come on.
race that fed on tree roots. But what of the predators that would naturally feed on them? Why did everyone leave the warm land of daylight to live in the land of night? The weapons that Yolu made are also strange. They are clear imitations of the golems in Olun's valley.
There are records of golems appearing suddenly before and after the fall of Orzekea. Along with the myth that they are the reincarnation of the Olun that Orzekea offered as living sacrifices.
Because let's remember that before sacrificing children to the Kuturam, they used to sacrifice the Oluns, which were like dwarves.
Yeah.
Anyways, the architects always left traces of their agony upon their constructs, so the answer should lie in the Stronghold somewhere. Why are there Vahmalkean weapons over there? Intriguing, isn't it? But first, let's go meet up with Yaz.
I saw Yaz pass this way. Think we should be good as long as we don't touch those detection devices.
Along with the myth that they are the
Blasphemous words, Martha.
reincarnation
Blasphemous
of the
words.
Olun that Orzekea offered as living
They're like, you should be fine as long as you don't get detected. You have to get detected.
They should be fine, not you.
I'm poking them to know when I can actually start damaging them.
You did the mission. My love, you completed the mission. Go to Yaz. You completed the mission. Go to Yaz.
Yeah, just killing. I want to kill the thingy that, because if you don't kill the big boss, you don't get the drop which we need, and then I don't want to get stuck again. Okay, we got it.
You scared me! Assistant!
The heck is this with camera angles, bro?
Is remember the message left by Yolu. But my pupil, it's still running thanks to the power of the Lightstones. It's this! Elripta's door! It leads to the other biome where the architects are imprisoned. And this is a device that can recover the exchange. Do you see the Lightstone inside? Assistant, can you run a bit? Let's take a look at the thread here first. I should know what might be beyond the Elripta's door before we go.
After a season spent at Yolunakea, I could finally understand what Master had been saying. Why he said Lightstones were a powerful source of energy. Lightstones were not simply shining stones. In the undergrounds of Yolunakea, they were breathing. What had made life on land instinctively avoid them?
Huh? What could she be talking about? It ends here? What? Who stops a record in the middle?
What a psychopath, right?
There are two ways to upset someone. One is to not finish one's sentence.
And what's the other one? Why aren't you saying anything? What's the other one? Luffy? The other one? Luffy? 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 Luffy!
Repeating the same thing over and over again like you are doing now, Martha. Without a moment's pause, like a broken record playing over and over again.
Haha, funny gag. Haha.
1,000 stats
Right.
of the Lightstone Brewer, working until my legs ached to learn what I could from the earth-dwelling Olun. Assistant, hop to it!
Quite literally, we're gonna...
Yeah, guys, it's exactly like the thing in the Florin.
You're telling me that the guys in Atoraxxion apparently...
Great minds think alike. What can I tell you?
And I still got those sunrise, man. Disgusting.
In the Olun's tongue, the underground ones are a race called the Lekra. They have not
Lekra.
even once shown themselves on the surface. But the Olun claim they definitely exist.
Yeah, of course they
the
do.
warm breath they exude underground
Like their Canadian
floats up to the
girlfriends.
surface and solidifies into Lightstones. Yolunakea, the land itself, was the font of all Lightstones. The Lekra have the power to rule over all living beings at the apex of the ecosystem. Therefore, the Saloons and the Turos ran away to the land of night, except for these small and frail children, grateful just for the sun shining down on them. The Olun said they were too weak to run anywhere else. They drew in detail the underground happenings whispered to them by the tree roots. They were convinced one day their king, Lekra Vahuma, will awaken once he receives the earth god Tunta's command. Then they will protect the Olun. For the Olun were the only companions of the Lekra, feared by all.
Wow.
Then, did this underground race inspire Yolu to make the weapons? Ha! I knew it! She was a genius like I, the great Yaz. Oh, there's more?
This world felt somewhat unfamiliar. I remembered Master cautioning me about gods. There were things that even he doesn't know. The Lightstones he was so hopeful about were actually created by the champions of one such god. Is it fine to bring such a substance into our Atoraxxion? Is it fine for me to model my weapons after the god's army that slumbers here?
The Orzekan records say when most of the Olun were wiped out as offerings for sacrifice, the last 9 Olun raised their prayers to the goddess of darkness, as if in answer to their prayer, the golems appeared.
Golems.
I think those weren't prayers, but rather curses.
Yeah, definitely curses.
Maybe the Lekra had finally revealed themselves for the sake of their only companions.
The story says they sprung right out of the ground. But honestly, this isn't what I'm looking for. Assistant!
Exchange damage at 35%.
Oh, we need to do 5 more. Isn't this cool content, guys? When you have to choose space at the right time.
Years of training while fishing.
After Vaha finished constructing the Sun aerial transport device and left, a few restless nights later, I found myself heading to Orz's stronghold. Are you and Vaha still romantically attached? Orz nodded her affirmation. You've been together for quite some time then. To this, Orz said,
Well, man, Orz is like the best college frat boy party, man. You know, that's like
pale skin appeared
he's
like
about to have a
it might
threesome.
shatter at any moment. The scratch that was exposed on her cheek, like a crack in a priceless porcelain vase. How could Master force this life upon a doll like her? She is definitely an object that Vaha would covet, but I'm what he needs. That scar on your cheek, Vaha did that to you? Orz did not answer my pointed question. What part of no does he not understand? And why do you put up with it? Orz didn't say anything for a while, then looked up at me.
Vaha must have been mean to Orz and hit her. So her friend Yolu is getting upset with...
Yeah, Vaha hit her, of course.
Huh? Are they not friends? Here, Yolu wrote something bad about Orz.
Orz was just getting hate fucked. Come on, let's move on.
Again, her lame, because I need him, response. It got me riled up. So I said my piece to Orz. Snap out of it. The goddess you worship is utterly worthless.
Snap out of it.
Perhaps out of surprise at my words, Orz's face turned pale. I left the expressionless Orz, taking her dagger with me as I departed her stronghold. The words inscribed on the dagger seemed to hover in the moonlight. My love, Vaha, with the goddess of darkness's permission, our paradise will be complete. Ugh, how silly. The real victim in this relationship is Vaha, beguiled by Orz's false pretense.
Huh? Let me get this straight. Vaha and Orz are romantic partners, but the relationship is kind of rocky. And
abusive,
Yolu
not
is
rocky.
swooning over Vaha?
The hottest flames burn the fastest. Reminds me of my
Thank you,
youth.
Laffy.
People were swooning over me, longing to stroke this lion's mane just once.
Who wants to run their hands through that wiry bush-like beard of yours? Why did she only leave records of useless information like this?
What's wrong with my softer-than-Flonder goose feather beard? The only thing coarse and bristly here is that dried-up sponge you call a brain. See here, you can practically see the damage your loofah brain has caused to my sensitive skin. Here, wait, where's this light coming from? What is this?
Ugh, it's okay.
Exchange damage at 35.
Indeed. Activate Did you activate the greatest door?
Activate the leopard zone.
You sure it opened up properly? Assistant, go give it a good whack.
Exchange damage at 35.
Give the exchange a good smack.
Like when you do with the computer when it doesn't work.
Yeah. Fun fact, we don't know what the architects look like.
Yep. Well, we kinda know because they described each other.
We don't know what the architects look like.
We have their alleged description.
Yes.
The store operating normally.
Is this another stronghold of Atoraxxion?
The center of Vahmalkea.
Vahmalkea, who the hell spells it like that?
Orzekea.
The stronghold where it all began. Protokea? Here it is. The resting place of Rux Maha Dehkia, the founder of Atoraxxion.
Everyone over here! It's Vaha's soul Magia!
And if you are a sage, you've already been here.
Yeah, during the awakening.
Exactly. And if you are wondering where this is basically under the crescent shine.
Check the memory fragments.
Hello? Can you hear me? Oh, to see that little brat's face when she hears this. Did you forget what I said? Wherever you go, I'll always be
The
with
fucking
you.
black spirit.
Is she talking about me? I finally get that white witch to acknowledge my great... Hold on, brat?
It seems that insufferable hag Elezra has already been here. Yes, stop making a fuss so we can listen.
I usually avoid constant traveling companions. You know, don't you? How easily I dispose of them.
She
It
backstabbed
was
us,
a
yeah.
grave error on your part to assume I knew not of this place. You were trapped here, and I, your rescuer, of course.
Okay, the text is bugged, but the audio said something else. In fact, it said, "Here is what I rescued you, the sage."
In my case, it says what is written.
Yeah, and
However, after seeing you in Everfrost, I had a change of heart. You still don't know where you went wrong, do you? The flame at the Haven of Slumbering Origin wasn't the Yenix. It was a fragment of her doom that feeds off the terrible despair of this world. The so-called hero of this world has summoned forth a monster by their own hands. You'll soon find out. Where a mortal that consumed the power of a god is headed. It started with his hometown of Serendia. Then his vengeance was wrought upon Calpheon. But he will not stop there. Though the world may despise him, your fate and his lie intertwined. You are truly a strong person. It would take nothing less to constantly stand against me. Nonetheless, you must not forget that with such great power comes great responsibility. Remember the world you created with your power, the responsibility you bear for Elvia.
And I still think that, like, Jordan didn't betray us, but there's something under more complex than that. Otherwise, it's just bad written.
Is she gone? She seemed really, really mad.
I guess your blunder in Everfrost was no regular blunder. It's fine. Seeing that witch boiling over.
they keep talking about blunder, but
wasn't it?
Oh my.
if we did the trials, what else could we have done?
By a curse. It looks like a pure lightstone can weaken it, however.
Because basically everyone is calling us stupid for, like, allying with Jordan. Which, like, if we really did if we've been really stupid trusting him, after actually a character development that made sense, it's the story just badly written. Like, a plot twist should be able, like, the reader, the player, whatever of your story should guess the plot twist.
Yeah.
A plot twist should add something to the story, and a good writer is able to leave hints of what is going to happen. If the plot twist makes no sense and there's no way to see it coming, it's not a plot twist. It's a shittily written story. That's what it is. So, unless, my dear Pearl Abyss writers, there's something like a double game undergoing where actually Jordan has a plan, but like that I understand, like, and it's what I'm hoping for. But if you just wanna play it like, oh, he just betrayed you at the end, you stupid, it's like, I'm not stupid. You are unable to write.
Basically, it's the whole issue I had with Valencia storyline in general, and all the storylines. They just make our characters fucking stupid, which makes no sense. Like, I understand getting swindled once in the beginning of the game, but you can't tell me that after everything you just keep getting played on like that. It doesn't work.
We will do what we can to restore it. You and Yaz go inspect that coffin-looking thing.
The coffin-looking thing.
Very, very,
Okay, Vaha. Let's start with Vaha's...
Orzekea. Okay, so we're going with Vahas?
Yeah. Is the orange...
Yeah, Vahas.
We always said if everyone worked towards a single goal in harmony, heaven on earth could be achieved.
Search complete. No consciousness to play.
Lamau.
We always said if everyone...
Okay. Sycrakea.
On the day the Dark Invaders come, I shall leave this abyss to the rolling tides of fate.
Search complete. No consciousness to play.
On the day the
Okay, no consciousness, no consciousness.
Iolus.
Awaiting the tomorrow that would never come. I had sacrificed my all for only utter emptiness in the end.
Search complete. No consciousness to play.
Awaiting the...
Oh, of course they don't voice act this part. What's this? This should be Oz's spot. Why is Vaha's hexahedron device here in place of Oz's eye?
What's this? This should be.
Oh, okay, now it's
Orz's
voice acting.
What?
Fuck you.
I can see why Dehkia thought that the light stones were important. It's not perfect, but we restored a large portion of what the witch corrupted.
The witch has already come and gone, so I don't expect much of value. How's it over
Remember,
there?
there's no
Did
way
you find
there's
anything?
No, our prediction was right. We were a step too late. I searched the architect's devices, but they all came back with no consciousness to play. How is the witch so quick-witted? Is that why she's a witch? Ah, but something seems off over there on Orz's spot. Orz's eye is missing. Not only that, everywhere else is destroyed, but that spot is clean.
Isn't that Vaha's Kyvelin hexahedron? What could this mean? Could it be a clue?
No, it's Vaha's Kyvelin hexahedron. That's what it is. Doom after 49 years.
Why didn't I think of that? Let's look at Vaha's soul magia. There's got to be something in it.
Exactly 49 years after Master left his clone, Dehkia, and withdrew into this Protokea Cave, Dark Invaders set upon a massive flame-trailing stone, descended from the sky. The shrine collapsed. The ivory tower was set ablaze, and the ground was split in two. The people, completely unaware, were quickly set upon by the Dark Invaders, and then turned upon each other. When their tears of repentance formed an ocean, they started to seek the Master's Ark. However, due to some small miscalculation, the Dark Invaders arrived 7 days earlier than the regeneration of the Master's form. Even though Sycrakea took the heart that commands the Legion of Ator and sequestered himself deep within his stronghold, I could have held strong for those 7 days. I had no need of the cowardly Sycrakea. All I really need is Yolu and Orz. We got this! Even though it may be Arukios' last, I didn't know at the time what Sycrakea telling the outside world about Atoraxxion would bring.
Ah, I remember! Sycrakea went outside of Atoraxxion and told people of its existence.
Fucking snitch, man.
However, on the final day, when the Dark Invaders arrived, my army awaited them, I by their side, and no one else. But why did Yolu and Orz not stand by my side? Weren't we all awaiting the final day? None of us wanted this to be where our world would end. My hollow pleas echoed out unanswered. I could not stop them on my own. 7 days. Not even. The world turned to ash in 3.
sure we didn't expect much from Seeker, but was everyone rotten apples? Where were Yolu and Orz? They were both Team Vaha, weren't they?
Oh, that is why I said it's all for naught. Everyone's hearts and bodies being mixed up like a romance salad. A person should have some principles.
Without the army of Ator, I stood no chance against the Dark Invaders. I wondered if this could get any worse. I couldn't imagine it if so, when I retreated to Atoraxxion, driven back by the Dark Invaders. The black stones powering Protokea were all gone. Not only that, Dehkia, the Master's clone, had been reset, and he was building Atoraxxion from the ground up all over again. Protokea was ransacked. And not by the Dark Invaders. It was the people of the outside world, the very people we were trying to protect.
Rip.
So, with nowhere else to turn, it looks like the ancients went to the place Seeker had mentioned. But this is crazy! To think that this perfect stronghold was broken into by mere people?
Yeah, because they had...
Oh, take a look at this next log. It's password encrypted. I'd venture that means it's important. All the more reason to have a look.
Yolu, Orz, and Seeker gathered at Protokea, now barren, after realizing the full weight of the situation. Who could have done this? Who permitted entry? That it would be breached by anyone other than the Dark Invaders. Unthinkable. The culprit is among us. It has to be Seeker. He was already reprimanded once after returning from the outside world.
Of course, now we went from being the greatest leader to we're going to blame Seeker because fuck him.
He offered black stones to those he wanted on the outside and reset Dehkia to conceal his actions. Who activated Protokea? Who reset our master? We were angrily embroiled in these arguments for some time. But there was one truth that I was avoiding. The other architects are unaware of the truth that only I know. The other architects are unaware of the truth.
I love when the thing is...
I may not be familiar with the Kive, but I learned the truth while remodeling the Kyvellan hexahedron. Master, I know it's unlikely, but what if Master's Kive fails to function?
There is no need to worry, Vaha. Such an outcome is impossible. My Kive is like the core of Protokea, the very heart of the Stronghold. In the event that someone tries to activate it through force, everything we worked for would be erased. Rest easy. It is made so that only I may control it.
Only he may control it.
Only the Master's Kive can have full access to Protokea. This means that only Master Rux Maha Dehkia, who transferred his consciousness to the Kive, has the power to manipulate the device.
Yes.
If his consciousness is indeed held within, how is it possible for Master to manipulate it? It's so nonsensical. I must be dreaming.
It's actually easy. Yeah, of course. Thank you for joining us. And also I want to say is because they didn't know the whole aspect of the Black Spirit and what happens.
Yeah.
Huh? Hold up, that means the culprit who forcibly activated Protokea was none other than Dehkia himself?
Guys, look over there. I think it's trying to show us something.
That soul magia belongs to none other than Rux Maha Dehkia, the founder of Atoraxxion. Let's have a look.
Dehkia soul magia.
Protokea emergency defense systems operation halted by Architect Dehkia's authorization. Dark Invaders wavelength critical point reached. Atoraxxion defense mode activated.
Central tower down. Transitioning to backup tower.
We need backup in Shulot sector! Why is no one here? Oh, Yolu!
Intrusion in District 49. Protopia Barrier 1 damaged. Protopia Barrier 2 damaged. Protopia Final Switchgear damaged.
Pandemic Frontline 3 destroyed. Doubling disconnection error detected. Processing automatic repair operation. Urukios drive system damaged. Processing weapon retrieval operation.
My god, it's the auditor from Assassin's Creed looking for...
For real. Fucking hacker.
Protopia System Doppelina's access granted. Command input function disabled. Input terminal is required. Verifying unknown terminal input.
That's one way to input into the terminal.
Re-verifying unknown terminal input. Protopia firewall activated. Processing verification.
Oh, he had a mask.
Yeah.
Request approved. Protopia defensive barrier disabled. Listing all executable commands. Do you wish to access the Blackstone archive?
Да, of course, bro, just not behind.
Fingerprint match complete. Iris match complete.
Iris scan, bro, these guys were advanced.
Voice ID complete. Blood analysis.
Physiological traits analysis complete. Hive pulse energy analysis complete. Recognition accuracy 99.895% match.
Because it's a clone.
Welcome back. Rux Maha Dehkia, Great Master of all mankind. Accessing the Blackstone archive in accordance with your grand plan. Anomaly detected. Initiating program. Second coming. Commencing reconstruction of Rux Maha Dehkia's physical form. Alert. Blackstone missing. Alert. All Blackstones missing. Hive power supply severed. Halting physical form reconstruction.
The other Adanas.
Emergency power cannot be used.
And we can see
Cannot carry out reconstruction.
the one that seems Tantu.
Shut down.
A ranger.
Opera.
Sorceress, probably Cartian. Most likely Cartian. And a warrior.
Damn. Imagine getting killed by a busting a nut and then getting killed by it.
Unbelievable! It was Dehkia all along? That doesn't make sense. How can there be two of the same person?
A person that even a machine
Oh,
like
hi, Eden.
Vahmalkea can't tell apart from the original.
Just spawned.
However, these two have clearly lived different lives altogether.
When did you get here? Did you make it here all on your own? There was no real rush. We were getting along swimmingly without you.
Only one theory makes all of this possible. And that's Dehkia being one of the Adana.
There you go again, pulling little secrets from your pockets and flaunting them about. Stop being so cryptic and spit it out. We haven't got all day.
My sources regarding the disappeared Soldier of Fortune and the Adana come straight from the Society of Equilibrium. Records of the Adana are slightly different depending on the region of origin, but they all have something in common. The blood-eyed ones who seek domination can be themselves dominated through the use of black stones, and that Adana never age and grow ever wiser are the commonalities. Though they appear to remain eternally youthful, their lives always come to an abrupt end. From death, they are resurrected and begin their second enlightened life anew. However, in their second life, they slowly age until they breathe their last, never to wake again.
Those who dominate the Dark Invaders with the Black Stones, becoming Adana, all die while still youthful, and rise again only to succumb to the passage of time.
Oh, come on! Anyone who's done the slightest amount of excavating knows all about that. Stop dragging on about what we already know and just get to the point. You won't like it when Yaz gets angry.
I don't get what you're going on about, Yaz. Come everyone, gather around. Let me explain this in better detail.
Orzekea emergency defense systems operation halted by
There are incidents in this world that are difficult to comprehend. Come, take a look at the appendix of this encyclopedia regarding the Adana. After experiencing their first death, Adana would be resurrected at some point, only to begin living their second life. However, the day after the first death of Shulatz's Adana, her flesh vanished without a trace. Even after 20 cycles of 4 seasons had come to pass, none would ever report of seeing her again. And one day, after 49 years had passed, archaeologists discovered a gravesite dating back 1,000 years. That was the burial site of the Shulatz's Adana, alongside the squalor of life lived in ancient times.
Wait a sec, just hear me out! My brilliant mind has conceived of the most perfect scenario. Let's say one ancient heard Sycrakea's speech at the Ivory Tower, and this ancient, not wishing to die, sought out Atoraxxion on the day the prophecy was fulfilled. Some way, somehow, they end up getting past all the defenses to end up here in Protokea. Right up to the Kive, storing all the black stones of the architect Dehkia. Eventually, they end up packing up a bunch of black stones, along with methods of using them, and leave. Then, they succeed in seizing control of the blood-eyed ones and become Adana.
They lived their first life in unwavering youth, then died. And if their second life began further in the past than when they had lived their first...
It appears the secret guards have stumbled upon another discovery. For something like this to occur, one would need to have forgotten memories of their past life.
Of course! For if he had remembered everything from his first life, Dehkia wouldn't have stood idly by and let himself ruin everything that he had prepared for. It appears the soul Magia controlling the Kive was correct. While the trajectories of their lives were different, for all intents and purposes, they were still one and the same.
Indeed so. Otherwise, all the memory fragments the Soul Magia has shown us previously don't make any sense, unless someone underwent the painstaking job of fabricating it all.
And if you think this is complex, wait until we get to the Magnus.
Rux Maha Dehkia. It wasn't the Dark Invaders, nor his Dehkimas who destroyed his life. Rather, it was himself from his first life.
Because remember, when you take a deal with the Black Spirit, essentially, or you control the Black Spirit with the stones, you get back... There's a...
I will explain exactly what happened. Let's just finish to read this quest.
His second life was dedicated to bringing the fight to the blood-eyed ones. So, his second life had been but a chapter in the narrative arc of his first life.
Atoraxxion would eventually fall, but as it gave birth to the Adanas, could we say the Stronghold actually saved the world?
You know, Eden, you could have butted in on us back home. Didn't you make a big fuss about staying out of the ruins?
The world beyond these walls is unsafe, so I was forced to come here. There were reports of strange phenomena occurring at Glish. A dark veil suddenly covered the village, and some people claimed sightings of the sky turning green, cases of people falling into depression, or even choosing to end their
It's
own
fake
lives.
news. Let's move on.
These reports have been flooding in from all over Serendia.
Huh? Is that what that old hag Elezra meant when going on about omens of the Elvia realm?
Yeah, because like Elezra was telling that it was our fault because we light back up Kamasil and Turazil.
And we created the Elvia realm.
Yeah, he did, but
We
helped.
very much so, yes.
First things first, we've got to get out of here while we can. If the power source was ever to run out, we're sitting ducks here.
That could be you, Eden. Anyway, you can find, guys, scheme in the lore channel of Black Desert Online official Discord, made by one of the lore masters with Rix. Okay, so basically we have Rux Maha Dehkia, aka the Sage. The Black Spirit appears and Rux decide to do something about it. And to do so, he uses the Black Stones to overcome the possession and become Edana. Because the Edana are those people who are able to overcome the possession of the Black Spirit, which otherwise would make you hollow and go mad. How does he do that though? He needs the Blackstone, as we said, and he needs to get them from Atoraxxion. This way, overcoming the possession of the Black Spirit, he can defeat the Black Spirit that are attacking the world. And since there is a great amount of Blackstones in Atoraxxion, he can go there. When he goes, he brings with him other Edana, which are those we see in the backlines. Probably some of those are the famous heroes we encounter in the several awakening and whatnot. So I think, personal opinion, we had Tantu, Cartian, Aganel, a warrior. I don't know if there was also Labrive, but anyway, probably the heroes we know through the background of our classes. In this situation, since the pact with the Black Spirit is running, Rux is in his immortal form, just like technically we are now while playing Black Desert. The Black Spirit breaks the pact, so the pacts end, because we still don't know how it happens, but it happens. And dies. When this happens, he wakes up and he has no memories. Because there is this thing that, like, when you do pacts, break pacts, like interact with the Black Spirit, your memory flickers, doesn't work as it should. So, now we have Rux Maha Dehkia that went back in time due to the breaking of the Black Spirit Pact, and without memories, doing the calculations, finds out that in 49 years the Black Spirit will come. So Rux needs to do something to save the world and builds Atoraxxion. Before building Atoraxxion, which was kind of extreme, he tries to warn people, but everyone thinks he's a lunatic. So they imprison him. And that's why he decides to do something drastic as creating Atoraxxion. So, Atoraxxion is built. And Rux, knowing that he will be too old to fight the Black Spirit in 49 years, decides to create the Cave, that is this sort of like hard disk where you can store your consciousness. However, there is an issue. He miscalculated, and the Black Spirit invasion comes 7 days before the date he expected. In the meantime, since though he built Atoraxxion, Sika escaped Atoraxxion and snitched the existence of Atoraxxion, because the other people don't know, since Atoraxxion is hidden by the Maha, which is a cover that displaces space and time. Not only hiding Atoraxxion, but also making it inaccessible, unless you are authorized personnel. So, the original Rux Maha Dehkia decides to get the black stones that are in Atoraxxion, so he can become an Edana, overcoming the possession of the Black Spirit. Problem though, the Rux that build Atoraxxion can't revive himself because the fuel of Atoraxxion, the Blackstone, got stolen. So, Atoraxxion, in a certain way, saves the world, but not in the way it was supposed to be. Because instead of being the stronghold it was meant to be, it gives the black stones to the original version of Rux Maha Dehkia, allowing him to become Edana. Fast forward nowadays, basically, Ilesra, how we don't know, but theory says that actually she is Orz, that made some magic tricks, finds Rux Maha Dehkia consciousness in the cave and saves him. And that's why how we get the sage, because Ilesra goes there, activates one of the clones, put in the clone what's remain of the consciousness of Rux Maha Dehkia, and takes it with her in the prologue. So we see the prologue happening. At the end of the prologue happening, he gets stabbed. Like the sage gets stabbed, makes another pact with the Black Spirit in a different way this time, and the game, the story of the desert, starts in the ancient stone chamber of Balenos. This is more or less what happens. The issue in this story, though, is the so-called paradox of the time traveler, I think is called in English.
Yes, because, the time traveler's paradox.
Yeah. According to the time traveler paradox, you don't know when the cycle starts to happen, because Rux cannot overcome the possession of the Black Spirit during the invasion without the Black Stones found in Atoraxxion. But the person who put the Black Stone in Atoraxxion and built Atoraxxion is Rux, who traveled back in time. So it's a very weird loop, if you think about it.
That makes no sense unless you add something like the Magnus.
Exactly, and that's probably why we got the Magnus.
Let's remember, what I wanted to say is, we have to get out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eldritch's door operating.
When you do a pact with the Black Spirit, the Black Spirit will take you, like you live your first life, but when you die, you get sent into time with no memories. It can be the past, it can also be the future. It just so happened in this case that it was, he lived at the same time as his other life, which is like, oh, beautiful.
Yeah, it was oddly convenient. Because basically he got spawned in time
Like a thousand years earlier, like the...
In theory, he got sent back in time right at the time to build Atoraxxion, so probably like 30 years before his actual birth date.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, like... because, you know, the example that Eden was using is like being like 1,000 years in the past, like... Yes, anyway, let's see what Ciaz is talking about.
What are these ancient weapons of Vaha doing here? I mean, I knew Vaha and Yolu were pretty close, but
Look at this. I think we'll find some clues regarding the presence of Vaha's ancient weapons here.
I ceased my Lightstone research and dove fully into ancient weapon production. The Master gave me the worst evaluation yet. However, Vaha came to my rescue. That was all that mattered. Still, I knew that he needed an immensely powerful weapon of mine. Vaha's words always ring true, and this one came forth as a product of my own imagination. While not perfectly suited for this world, it will definitely play its part. A large and powerful ancient weapon even the Dark Invaders would never expect.
Everyone, take a look at this. It says right here, Sun, Eye of the Sun.
Vaha, as long as you become stronger and become the best, would you like to test out Lekra Vahuma, my marionette of the sun, that I made for you?
Take joy in trampling the earth underfoot beneath the watchful gaze of the sun. Hey, assistant, over here. Let's insert that fragment you got in here. Another encrypted record. This is the language of Vaha's weapons. I guess we won't be able to unravel this thread without those weapons.
Oh no, even Laffy is calling you assistant. You don't need to answer to him, though we should get a move on.
Everyone, take a look.
Yes, I need to check this out.
Rubuma, prepare to attack. Eye of the Sun, energy recharge complete.
It's beautiful.
Lekra Vahuma.
I might think to know when I can start damaging this place. Okay, so just nuked it.
Did you do all 4 of them?
No, just one.
Okay.
I guess you need all 4 of them for the
for
party
the
play.
yeah. You can go. I'm going to.
Okay. Ew, what could this power source be? Such a potent form of energy. Wait, isn't this? This is Vaha's power stone. Haha. Vaha's power stone was fueling Yolu's ancient weapons. Assistant. Sorry, that crowd kept going on about assistant this, assistant that. I guess it grew on me. I think we just discovered why Vaha's ancient weapon lays over there. I think we can use this power stone to get those weapons moving, no? You can use your mama to get it moving. Oh yeah.
With the thing behind the...
It's not very clear because it fucking light up 4 things at the same time.
Just pick the one you want.
Okay.
You know that each weapon is different.
Whatever you say.
Kyvelin hexahedron rotation halted. Insufficient Vaha's sun energy. Vaha acknowledged my Lekra Vahuma and shared a rather interesting secret with me.
He was gay all
Although it
along.
wasn't the means of crafting the
He wasn't
kind
Tosika.
that archives the master's consciousness. His research into the Kyvelin hexahedron had soon made it possible for him to create
Thank
a
you.
copy. He had an entirely revolutionary idea. That was to become one with the ancient weapons themselves.
Just imagine it, Yolu. We could integrate ourselves with them completely. This is my deepest ambition that I'm sharing with you alone. One day, I plan on becoming the heart of Arukios. I wish to see with its eyes and fill its chest with my roar.
Yes, I can see it now. You and I becoming one. My beautiful
Jesus
Vaha,
Christ.
You can do it, for I will it so.
She's a perfect match for Sika because she's fucking bonkers, man. Like, haha, mortals and love. It's all ancient. Speak to me. Wait, I found a record of Vaha's success. Here, this must be the result. Just like Vaha's record state, we too must become an ancient weapon ourselves. What on earth am I going on about, you ask? Here, let me read an excerpt from Yolu's records. In the next Gladius, I found myself sparring against not Vaha's ancient weapon, but against Vaha himself in ancient weapon form. Trading blows with Vaha like this, it was truly a new and thrilling experience. We can assume that Yolu's ancient weapons that await us have been designed to be difficult to defeat unless faced with a weapon of Vaha's. What, you scared of planting your consciousness into an ancient weapon? Don't worry, partner, I'll coach you, haha. Disgusting. Okay, so now I guess
Talk with Laffy? You have to talk to Laffy.
after mounting on Vaha's...
Okay.
It says after mounting on Vaha's one.
What did you take?
I don't know. They
I
all look
took
the same to
Kraten.
me. Okay, Kriomar.
Cool.
I can't believe it. Turn the Earth flat and flip it around. You're still in control of this thing, right? How do you feel?
Yeah, better than I expected, I guess.
Are new senses awakening within you? What if I give you a little whack? Think you'd feel it? Anyway, it appears we should now be able to read the previously illegible language of Vaha's weapons to unravel Yolu's thread.
Yolu may not have won over the master,
Oh
but
my
she's
god,
still
this
a
camera is
genius
so
in
buggy.
Nyberg. She made a thread that
It
can
wasn't like this
only be
before,
solved
right?
by using Vaha's ancient weapon.
Always been buggy, I guess.
Hmm?
It was always buggy, this part, I guess, because we are on the mount.
Stop working your mouth and work your brain. Focus and start looking over these scribbles.
Vaha and I continued to build secret after secret as the days went by. However, his relationship with Ors
Vaha, my man.
completely ended either. He told me that being with Ors felt like being with a doll. Physically, he may be hers, but his heart was mine alone. And yet, today, Vaha appeared somewhat downtrodden. I wonder what happened overnight. Vaha gathered all the Dehkimas and began to propose 4 new rules.
All Dehkimas must combine their strength when the Dark Invaders are upon us. All Dehkimas must preserve the knowledge they acquire from Atoraxxion and guard its secrets. All Dehkimas must respect each other's biomes and never enter without permission of their respective overseers. All Dehkimas must refrain from developing personal feelings for any other Dehkima.
My heart broke at the utterance of the final rule. And yet, with it, I now knew of his true intentions. It was to separate that parasite
Of course, no.
Ors from his body. For only I am suited to be Vaha's partner. Only I deserve to stand by his side.
What's wrong? Why are you sighing like that? What? Another useless record? Couldn't agree more.
Oh my god, man. Could they just like let us play the game?
We're rooting for you, assist.
Okay, so let's talk with the Stronghold, I guess. We'll skip.
I mean, if you want to
No,
show
here.
with the Doplenos, it's next to Yaz, the Doplenos. You see the little...
Interact with the Stronghold, the management system, to check the progress. All Stronghold's objective power will be given right after. The Stronghold power can be sent to the management system, and power that was sent to the management system can be sent to a specific Stronghold. Okay, essentially, it's like the Hanoi Tower problems. You have 4 different towers, so you can see with different amount of energy they can store, and the main Stronghold. And the point is to match the thingy that you are shown. So you have to transfer cubes around into this, and then make sure that it matches whatever it showed you, and then you can check the progress, which will show you where you are. Careful not to reset it, otherwise you're gonna be sad.
But if it's too difficult or you mess up, you can reset it and start again with eventually an easier way, because it's not always the same. Bellissimo.
A record engraved with the symbol of a flower. Ah,
Oh my
this
god.
seems a bit unsettling, don't you think?
For the record, I'd like to remind everyone that this is supposed to be a medieval MMO.
It wasn't too difficult to bring Vaha to my biome. All it takes is the mention of weapon development to make him follow me anywhere. I wonder if he knows how much his refusal further stokes my flames. Eventually, I revealed to him the dagger I stole from Ors. My love, Vaha. With the goddess of darkness's permission, our paradise will be complete. The words etched onto the dagger made it clear. You can't have Ors. She's already in the embrace of her goddess.
But we already know that this wasn't an issue to Vaha, because in fact the key to access the last part of Vahmalkea is indeed Lucretia's dagger, which is the dagger that Yolus is mentioning right now.
Thickets blot out the light. Thorns scar everything. Only damp darkness and death reside within them, and yet I am different. I can embrace all the rays of the sun. Let us cultivate a new life together within the sun's embrace. Only I can support you, my son. Vaha.
Well, they skipped the part. They skipped the so take my heart. Boo.
Whoa! Is this what Sika witnessed and caused him to call Vaha scum? And yet,
Yeah.
who knew it was Yolu who tempted Vaha all along?
Yeah, who knew?
Yeah, who knew? Wow.
What on earth? They had all these hormones pent up in their
How does he know about hormones?
No place to release them. No wonder things got so fired up. I've said it once
Alchemy.
and I'll say it again. Love is no more useful than chaff in the wind. I bet Vaha made her cry in the end. Seriously now, why can't we find one useful record here?
I think we'll have better luck in the next area. And yet, this biome is
You don't
clearly
say.
sending out a distress call. I was sure Yolu would have a clue to defeating that witch somewhere. Eden, what are you doing over there?
Martha, come over here and search this area with me. I think it's a path going to somewhere.
Oh my god.
Whoa! Is this what...
Oh my god. Oh, it's so painful, this part, man. It's because this is not something that builds on the world of Black Desert. This ruins the world of Black Desert. This is so funny and awkward the way that this thingy moves.
Happens.
Tak... Oh my god. So exact no building in the world of Black Desert. It's always so like cringe, like, oh, these hormones, they wanted donuts. But don't add new things into it. Like
Spaghetti alla bolognese.
Yeah.
That's my assistant, all right. You're so strong too. While you
Yeah.
were causing a distraction, I think I found something useful. Loppy! Hey, Loppy! The assistant's back. Oh, right. Forgot to tell you about this. This is a secret telescope made by
Luffy's
us,
telescope.
the secret guards.
This is quite useful to search for anything dangerous from afar. Why am I showing it to you now? Well, because I completely forgot about it.
And then they are trying to sell to us the telescope as the newest and bestest invention.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, take a look at this. It's a tale regarding Yolu's final weapon. Looks pretty useful, no? Here, have a look.
After that night, Vaha came rushing back into my arms. To think that I'd feel such joy, welcomed in as someone's light. Sure, there were days when Vaha didn't come, saying he was off seeing ores. But Vaha is our leader, and he's only doing his duty and taking care of us.
Yeah, he was
Yet,
taking care of you.
I can't help but feel a cloudy gloom fill me. Those are the days when I miss Sycrakea. How he gazed so longingly with those sad eyes of his. I guess I am as attractive a woman as Ors. Suddenly, it dawned on me. An idea for my final weapon. I can't believe I failed to see it for so long.
A woman, of course.
As beautiful, sharp, and resolute as I. A weapon that can shake up the entire world.
What the? The record ends here? I need to know what she wrote next. That's the important part. Raise a monument beneath the giant tree. Anyways, take a look at this. It's a
Come on, bro. Spawn the goddamn thing is already. Spawn. Spawn. There we go. Fucking finally.
Very careful here to follow the path. Because if you remember, I got bugged here the first time.
Yeah. I love that my cat is on top of the thingy. Like at the circle, it's just being shook so much.
I remember what I saw in the lands of Yolunakea. It gave off a sweet scent and sang pleasant melodies. The Olun told me it was due to the flowers it consumed. The name of that flower? Armalilith. Fine horns, a
Amaryllis, by the way.
waist, and a tiny mouth.
The voice
to
actress
hold
had
the
a stroke.
flowers. However did it survive with its fragile appearance? And yet, the Olun warned me not to underestimate the creature. For when the long day passes and the short night arrives, it changes form.
So basically she talked to the Oluns.
Yeah.
Docile during the day, yet an attractively powerful being by night. I wanted to grasp it between my own two hands.
It's a
And
Pepe.
yet, I could not hope to catch it. It was that swift. Sometimes it would shed a small pond of tears it would suddenly fall into, as if it was attempting to take its own life. And yet, when I draw near that pond, only my own reflection stared back at me. The Olun referred to that body of water as Ron's mirror. They called it the incarnation of Tunta, god of the earth himself. But I had no use for gods, so I decided to bestow it a name myself. The scent of the Armalilith and the mirror of Ron. Yes, that's it. My final weapon shall be called the Amarillos.
Ah, that creature's appearance seems to belie its speed and strength. But why did Yolu, bright as she was, not appear on the final day?
No, bright as she was.
She wasn't. First of all, she wasn't bright. Second of all, you can see that how stupid she was, because she's looking for this creature which is powerful during the night, when her whole biome is based on the day. Do you not see the issue? Jesus. Bright as bright as a fucking rock.
In fact, Yaz is not bright either.
Let me be. This may be my only opportunity to study this.
But I'm going to let you rot here, I swear.
Yeah, okay, let's see.
I have a deep connection with Orzekea, so I want to know more about the Olun story. In the Crypt of Resting Thoughts, there were only mentions of sacrifices made to Kazaka and nothing more. But to hear that the Olun existed during a period of peace without the constant threat of death, not to mention in a land where the terrifying golems slumbered, with tree roots as their medium, they were able to keep amicable relations with the golems. Isn't that why the golems reacted and awakened when the Olun were wiped out?
He's gone too deep. Let's just leave him and move on. I mean, being as short as he is, he won't be easy to spot.
That was...
I have a...
Kinda racist, but okay.
I lost myself.
Fuck, do I need to do it again?
Oh.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Let's wait.
You need to
for
defeat
them.
15 of them.
Yeah.
And now here you have to wait again. Like seriously, did not any developer think like, okay, this actually might not be the greatest thing?
Yeah.
Especially when they ask you only to defeat 5, and I was like, no, defeat you defeat 15. Now we can say that we are mecha anime as well.
Indeed.
Okay, they deactivated.
Do we receive a message when it activates?
Yeah, when it happens, it tells you.
Okay. Thank you.
Just make sure to head straight over before
Yeah,
it reactivates.
I'm going. Alright.
We also discovered that the place Eden found earlier was a shortcut. Inside, there was an exchange in fairly good condition. Of course, it's locked by a thread, so we were looking for clues. Yolu usually left very happy records, but these seem different. The site's name is Crocodile Tears.
One day, Atoraxxion suddenly collapsed. Not at the hand of the Dark Invaders, but by the very people we sought to protect. That is what caused
Yeah, blame it
our
on
saga,
Sika.
in which we were slowly working toward the completion of our mission, to come to an abrupt end with an unidentified outsider as their leader. The people rushed in like a swarm of ants and carried off all of Protekea's resources. After only a few hours, silence befell the place once more. And Vaha returned, his entire body covered in blood. He was no longer the son I idolized. He blamed Sika for telling the outsider of the existence of the Stronghold.
Because let's remember that Sika told everyone outside of Atoraxxion, and the leader Yolu is talking about is the original Rux Maha Dehkia.
Yeah.
Sika, who was rebuked by Vaha, rebuked Ors. She defied the Master's lesson of placing one's faith in gods. However, Vaha defended Ors frantically. He knew that her agenda lay with the goddess of darkness, and her promise to sacrifice our army of Ator. Then what of our efforts? And our masters? Was that all just sacrifice to your goddess as well? All Ors said was that she never wanted the Stronghold to fall. In the end, Sika started to fight back against our leader Vaha. Vaha then chose to defend Ors in order to defend himself. What is this? Then does that mean I need to take Sika's side? I don't want to do that. During this dull debate, Vaha didn't turn to look at me, not even once. I was taken slightly aback, but it wasn't as bad as I thought. I didn't even tear up. Maybe I already knew. I had always had him in my embrace. But that space between my arms was a void to be filled. Ors just kept sobbing, covering her face with both hands. Those hands probably concealed a smile behind them. That revolting.
Wait a minute. The Gatekeeper weapons blueprint that Eden found had a drawing of a crocodile?
Clever man. Freaking crocodiles, am I right, folks?
Yeah.
That's why you should just date men, so this way you don't have issues.
What took you so long? I found a shortcut. Of course, we still need a key to enter the next sector.
Yeah, the camera is completely bugged.
A long way around anyway. Try promenading down that path later. Perhaps some intriguing knowledge may present itself along the way. But more importantly, take a look at this Elezra's mark. If she picked up the architects at Protokea, then there wouldn't be a need to go around.
It might seem like a joke, but she isn't the type to waste her time. Not to mention how persistent she's been, actively. What in the world could be in this stronghold? Why keep the gatekeeper weapons blueprints so well hidden?
We've already got 2 strongholds under our belt. So, let's see. Sycrakea...
Yolunakea, where Lekra, the ecosystem's apex, resides, is a place that living creatures instinctively avoid. Thanks to them, the Olun lived in peace. However, there were still natural enemies. The giant crocodile, in the Olun's root language, Sycrakea. The Olun have to absorb their nutrients from the lightstones, so the Sycrakea would place a lightstone on their back to lure them to the water.
Could this be a weapon made with ores in mind? I can't imagine what it would be like to face off against...
Okay, then
Attempt to access.
here is another thingy. Where's the goddamn? So what happens? Essentially, this thread, you interact with it, 4 different colors. Blah blah blah.
You basically have
to move the spheres to match
the colors, exactly.
the colors.
It's a little bit like Rubik Cube sort of thing.
Yeah, it's a mini Rubik's Cube. Skip.
Next command, undetected.
And in fact, the thread is called Lucretia.
Let's see. It says that on the day of the final battle, she happily ate her breakfast. To think she could keep anything down on that day. She's certainly something.
Really? Like, she's crazy.
The day of the final battle. I wonder why my feet led me to Vahmalkea. It was completely empty. Of course, he'd be the first one out. When I was turning to leave, an imposing weapon caught my eye. It was Lucretia, the same name the goddess calls ores by. Vaha had sculpted this idol of ores without my knowledge. Since when, perhaps, I could forgive him for this? However, he must pay for wounding my heart. I will not engage. He will have to face them without me. Vaha, may you realize just how desperately you need me.
A man fucked himself out of a good team for a Chad.
Oh, Lofi was right. Vaha was stood up, but now that I look at it, Yolu. Oh, she's a greedy one.
This one is mine, that one is mine, you're mine, everyone you love is mine! On the day of the final battle, where Vaha stood without me, I returned to my stronghold and gathered the Sycrakea in one place. Tears cascading down my cheeks as I grasped out for anything to hold on to. Ultimately, the victor was Ors, our leader in her clutches.
But still, her crush Vaha is out there dying. What in the world did she do with those crocodile weapons?
I remembered what the Olun said about the Sycrakea's traits. When they need to cull their numbers, they sacrifice their lives to their leader. The leader, after devouring his congregation, shed tears that, at a glance, give him the appearance of deep despair. But the cannibalistic leader grows even more vicious. So I decided to lock them away where they could tear each other apart. Fight, rip, crush. Today, I shall select their leader.
Yolu was totally
Make
fine.
sure you're
No.
extra prepared. We will have to face whatever weapon was strong enough to come
We?
out on top of that
course.
bloodbath.
And it's so crazy, like what pisses me off here that in the story was like assistant. It's like, guys, you designed this for parties, so why does the quest always talk only to me?
The leaders
Trying to make. I need to use the telescope.
Telescoping.
Yolu's sweat and tears went into making this arena. You think you can just throw yourself in there? What kind of a place is this? Let me see if I can find anything.
Oh, is that a Stronghold control system? Anyhow, it seems they've mass-produced more Sycrakea and managed them.
Okay. Turn to the right again.
Hey, Fuzzball. You better run while you can.
It's Ilesra,
Don't you
come
know a
on.
bloodthirsty crocodile is on its way?
The records here show that Vaha used Lysanta's power to interfere with the circuits of the small Sycrakea to create an electrical overload within their leader.
The leader's verification device seems to be malfunctioning. Given the situation, it might even be able to use the smaller weapons to recover its power.
Whatever this means now.
Oh my
I
god.
discovered something while observing the Olun stone houses made in commemoration of Yolu's visit to Yolunakea. Vaha chose Orz as the one to prove his innocence, but when she just sat there crying in the silence that followed, he pulled out his sword. Are you mad, man? How could I... Did Vaha kill Orz? Is that why Orz's Kive was the only one missing from Protokea? Ah, looks as though Yolu had the same thought. She also wrote, "Are you mad?" Oh, wait, thankfully it seems it wasn't murder. What Vaha's sword pierced was not Orz, but Talibre's door that connects to the outside world.
The argument ended when Vaha dismantled Talibre's door. Not a single word was spoken, and we returned to each of our respective strongholds, overtaken by silence. Within Maha's veil, it felt like time stood still. Not a day went by when I wasn't consumed with the thoughts of less painful ways to end my life. My belly ached in pain, but that pain brought clarity to my thoughts. After a season or two, the food will run out, and I'll starve to death. I could recall those days when I was a starving war orphan, the master handing me a warm bowl of porridge.
They were facing an actual crisis, but somehow they managed to survive. Only to be sacrificed to a witch they don't even
Okay,
know.
like the fact that they keep saying, oh, the witch is going to sacrifice, like, where, how, why, no. And also like the fact that Yol is like, oh, we are going to starve to death, is like, you built a forest.
Yeah.
Like, you have a lot of plants. There will be something making fruit somewhere.
Yeah.
Make yourself a salad, I don't know.
Hunt choppies.
What Vaha's sword pierced was not...
Well, whatever, man. Time to defeat the Sherbakok. Knowledge. Anyway. Beep 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 beep.
Sycrakea production ongoing. Sycrakea.
Oh darling, is the Sherbakok coming in? Hello? Oh, fucking finally. Talking about being dramatic. Yeah, look how balanced this weapon is. Wow. So cool. No, my thingy died.
Yeah, it's normal. You get kicked out after a while.
Tomorrow that would never come. I had sacrificed my all for only utter emptiness in the end. Slowly starving to death was more painful than I thought. Did no one else feel this way? The stronghold merely steeped in its silence. I followed my feet to the vestige of Talibray's door in Protokea. Only if there were some black stones, it could be restored. Wait a minute. Perhaps light stones were the answer. If only for a moment. This is it. I think we can escape. We cannot escape. The people didn't just rob Protokea of its black stones. They took everything. The fire, earth, wind, flora, and heart. My light stones. They took them all.
So arguably Vaha had a good reason to be pissed at Sika for talking about Atoraxxion. Don't you think, Mrs. I'm crazy?
Yeah, but it's also Vaha who imprisoned them because he destroyed Talibray's door.
No, but Vaha was a Chad. He was like, oh, you betrayed me and you made me fight alone and everything? Well, we all die now.
A bit petty, but...
I mean, none of them were as invested as him about in the Gladiuses. Sika just wanted to be a special little mama's boy and didn't even participate in the last one and took the heart, okay, just like that. Yolu, I mean, have you seen Yolu, girl? Like, you want me to like give you more? Orze, we're talking about the same Orze that went and decided to worship a goddess. Like, what the hell? Like, no shit with these fucking clowns. There's a whole circus. It's not a fortress. It's a circus. At this point, I also destroyed the thing. I'm like,
the stronghold of clowns.
Yeah.
Darkened Dawn, operational. Energy circuit.
Okay. Oh my god, you fucking bastard. But what makes mortal agonize over such things? Affection. Such a worthless emotion to bog one down. Let's quickly move on to Yolo's garden. I wonder which choice she made. Haha. I would actually try to, but seriously, the best here are so badly put that it hurts me.
Yeah, the chaining here is very weird.
Anyway, Yolo's garden.
It took 3 minutes of thought to make up my mind. I will go to the outside world, alone. It's only fair.
Assistant, how could you just abandon your biggest cheerleader? Don't be selfish like Yolu. Let's look at it together.
Outside, a festival was underway.
Love that I can use the second option.
After eating my fill, I started to tune in to the chatter of people around me. They said a certain genius has successfully turned the tables on the Dark Invaders, possessing them instead. Genius? Please! It's just the outsider who stole Master's documents.
I love how she's flaming the genius who saved the day, which is also the Master.
As partners, using that power to restore the world that they took from them. And they used the Lightstones they stole from me to seal all the remaining Dark Invaders within East. While we were trapped, we were just waiting to die. To suddenly find myself at a festival, I felt truly out of place. In the end, all I could do was to return back to Atoraxxion. Sika, vile, incompetent, and origin of all our problems, was right.
All the black spirits were released again from his trials by...
But because these are all things that are hinting at the fact that Ilesra is Orze. Because she knew how to access Protokea and get Rux back. She knew where they locked all the Black Spirit in Istra. Like, those are all informations that Orze would have known.
Yeah.
Atoraxxion will forever be known as the Stronghold of Sinners. And I shall forever remain silent about the land of Adana.
Imagine being such a little ungrateful asshole that you can get out of Atoraxxion after being starved. You see it's a festival and the world didn't end, and you strut your way back to Atoraxxion being even more sad and depressed.
But I don't get how they get out.
We don't know either, but apparently she just got out. That's what the story said.
Yeah.
Doesn't that mean she just came full circle? Now, that's fine and all, but everyone, take a look at this. I've happened upon a magnificent discovery. The reason why Alessa remained here to thwart us at every turn. Now, this saw Magia. Give it a good whack. And there. All the tales of what transpired between the reset Dehkia and Yolu.
My dear Yolu, why are you not yet asleep? You must leave for Yolunakea tomorrow.
Dehkia, reset and void of all memories, came looking for me. Even though I knew why. I asked why I had to go.
For the future. I've told you this before. If the Dark Invaders were to attack the Stronghold, we must have the Lightstones in our possession. Return safely, and within your paradise, the future coordinates will be waiting.
I have no need of them. You know nothing, you fragmented consciousness! And the future you planned for us? It failed. It failed.
My delicate Yolu. Why? Are you shedding tears? Slowly explain to me.
You can't understand! I can't explain it! Why? You even prophesized about the Dark Invaders! Why couldn't you foretell our future? Everything is your fault! You left me in charge of a future I couldn't even grasp! And all I did was wander around, trying to fill that void! You said I was the epicenter of the coming future! If I had everything, this wouldn't have happened!
It is our path.
Oh? Yeah? Alright. She's putting all this on their master?
What's important isn't the story, but the coordinates. The Black Spirit Stronghold's coordinates are there in their paradise.
Ah, why didn't I think of that? The final destination of that witch. Let's get moving. We need to get the coordinates. You just wait and see, witch. We will chase you to the end of the world.
We're gonna have to go to Histria?
and then it loops.
Yeah.
I told you that I have this idea about the loop.
Attempt to access saved data detected.
Okay, Yordle's Cradle.
Is this the cradle of the final weapon?
I hope so, Jesus fucking Christ.
Twice. You guys have no idea how well my assistant fights.
The final weapon, Amarillos, is nowhere to be seen.
But what is that?
Very beautiful.
That's got to be the heart of creation from the Tunta myths.
Made to create Elvia.
No way, she was there all along.
Ilesra!
Oh no, she's vibrating.
Yes, you shall take responsibility.
Kabua?
Lesra, no, don't drink too many monster energy drinks. They're bad for your health. Your heart will go like Elezra's heart, like pop, 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 pop.
Another hint about the fact that she might be Orz is the scar, because she has half of her face covered by her hair.
Yeah, man.
Hey, Granny Pants, are you surprised we made it here? Now, where do you think you're going? I'll follow you to the moon and the sky above if I have to.
Of course you're here, Elezra. Huh? Laughing, no way. Is it your first time seeing Elezra? Put that parchment away.
What are you talking about? I was just trying to take notes on what that witch is stepping on.
Chattering away like little birds in my presence. I'm a tad disappointed. You weren't like this on our last little adventure. If I knew destiny would keep bringing us together like this, I would have crushed you between my fingers. The world is full of surprises, indeed. By the looks of this stronghold, it wasn't the work of the Dark Invaders. The destruction of Atoraxxion, the bastion of humanity, was wrought by human hands. But the downfall of Atoraxxion ultimately brought salvation to this world. Who does humanity have most to thank for that?
How could we know that? But we know for a fact it is not you.
If only the four architects had stuck it out together, and if only Dehkia had reawakened as planned, could Yolu have really defeated their nemesis?
No.
Her fate, could it have been to storm the stronghold of the Dark Invaders?
We weren't there. We aren't as ancient as certain witches in the room. You stop your chattering. Where are all the architects? You think we'd let you sacrifice the architects and watch as you activate the heart of Orzekea?
I don't know why you would think that of me. All I need is one person.
What? One? Is your tongue just flapping around behind that smile? You're lying through your teeth.
Little one, I've not spoken a lie since the day I was born. I've only come to find the coordinates, the Dark Invaders that Dehkia left to Yolu. That's right, the Black Spirit Stronghold. That's indeed my target.
What? Why there? Wait, hey, you're not really thinking about using the Stronghold as a base to unleash the army of Ator, and then the 3 days of darkness again?
I honestly didn't think that far, but sounds like an interesting plan. Tell me you're not curious. That voice you have, all day in your head without end. Where is it coming from? How much stronger will it grow? Never mind. I shall take my leave. Thanks to somebody, my timeline's been accelerated. Yolu's last weapon, Amarillos, has been aimlessly pacing for a long time, unable to fulfill its desires. I'll leave it under your care now. I hope that you can give her masterpiece, this ancient weapon and a lonely soul, all the dearest love she deserves. Although its presence brought chaos to the stronghold, it was the catalyst that incited the fall from salvation. As you saw from the past records of the stronghold, you must be wary of being enticed by the Amarillos. That is, if you want to keep the worthless entourage you dragged along from becoming her puppets. If you survive this valley of desire, perhaps I'll see you again at the coordinates. Farewell.
No! Has she vanished? Again? Ugh, she always has to have the last word. Alrighty, assistant. You got this, right? We've got a lot of information this time.
Last weapon, Amarillo's damage restoration. Last weapon, Amarillo's damage restoration. Last weapon.
Aww.
Dark Invaders detected. Beginning Amarillo's evolution.
Defeated one. Ah, yes.
Heart of creation. Critical damage detected. Incubation rate declining.
What? Activate Tuntaros immediately!
Activate Tuntaros immediately. Goodbye, Tuntaros. The sage damage is fucking insane. Just one shot bosses with a combo. Oh my god. It's the same thing we've defeated.
But better.
Whatever, man, I trust you. It's basically a Ronaros with a reskin.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I can't believe my masterpiece! Tuntaros has been destroyed!
Reassembly complete. Activate ultimate weapon on the Amarillos.
Lightstone storage damaged. Energy efficiency decreased. I admire your persistence, but it ends now. Activate the artifact device. burst mode and destroy them. Lightstone storage damaged. Energy efficiency decreased. Let's see how long you last now. Remove the control device on Amarillos. Now do as you please.
Just charging my mana. Oh, because you have to defeat that Venus, I guess. Yeah, let's do some mechanics, just for the hell of it.
Playtime is over. I'll show you my masterpiece. Activate self-destruct. You will never escape. What? What is this place? Why did you... Oh, I don't want to die! I need to live! Now, save me!
Stop attacking the boss. Fuck the mechanics. I'll DPS it. Yeah!
I keep going.
I need to check which part the... Okay. I am now with Madame Yaz, who's about and ready to bust our balls another time. With my little pets.
We've lost our voices. Oh, can you tell how wildly we were cheering you on?
You know what? There's something even more disheartening. That old prune, I don't think she was lying. Laffy found something called the Atoraxxion Repair Manual and... Huh? Laffy? Ah, where have you gone now? Laffy found something called the
Laffy is over there. He seemed very impressed at the sight of the Amarillos. He said he wanted to investigate further and just took off. That man, so engrossed with relics of the past.
He's just staring at a wall,
He hasn't
creepy
even
little fuck.
noticed how much you've grown.
You were about to say, it feels like just yesterday you were whipping wolves outside the ancient chamber. You're the one stuck in the past.
Quiet, both of you! I'm dying to see these coordinates. Assistant, go on up and get Laffy.
Or if I was a Corsair, I could have climbed. But maybe. Nice. Slip. Crap.
That's strange. It makes no sense. Weapons cannot feel fear of death.
Schlafion with his massive broad shoulders.
Oh, yes. Great work. Say, there's something odd that I noticed while watching you fight. Do you remember the final weapon, Amarillos? Well, it just bolted. You went to town on it, smashing it to smithereens. Could you not feel it shaking madly in its final moments? And even at its wit's end, it fled like a bat out of hell. There is no other weapon like it in the world. Weapons shouldn't be capable of fearing death. Look here, they're generally all designed like this. Ah, wait. I feel an unusual pulse here. Oh, see? Just now, it's as if it's using all its might to take a final breath. Although it's buried within a labyrinth of ancient characters. I shall get to the bottom of this mystery no matter what it takes.
Oh, don't worry, Laffy. I definitely felt it shaking when I was about to kill it, and it made it feel better.
Let's head on down since everyone is waiting. You go on ahead.
Just finished because I got bugged.
Okay.
Alrighty, everyone works so hard, I'll hold off on the scolding. There is something called the Atoraxxion Repair Manual within the Soul Magia.
Not long after we returned to Atoraxxion, we were gathered in front of a dust-laden Protokea. Ors was as silent as the goddess of darkness in her stronghold. Sika muttered to himself incessantly, nodding his head. It sounds like my name, but I lacked the strength to respond. Regardless, Vaha had something to say.
At this rate, we'll starve to death, or we'll eat each other alive. Let us keep our dignity. We get to choose how it ends for us. Let's all get some rest inside the Kive. A long and timeless sleep, as the Master once did. But lest we become like our Master, though he tried his very best. Let us free ourselves from this preordained destiny to some unknown vista far from here. Someone in the future will awaken us. Perhaps that person may even need our help. Of course. It's also my first time creating something like this. Though it may fail, anything is better than this.
He looked into Orz's eyes as he continued to speak, and nobody stood to oppose him. To have the choice to face death without pain, this option was one that intrigued us.
Wait, does this mean the shattered Kives of the architects in Protokea weren't Alezra's doing, but evidence of failure? No, it cannot be!
Wait, you're telling me that Alezra is not a full asshole, and actually this guy just basically chose to do that? Oh man, they really think they could copy a master at his work? So stupid. Obviously, they were still children, even if they're older.
But Orz's biome was immaculately intact. That means if Orz's Kive was the only one that was successful.
I see. Alezra said she only needed one earlier. It could be that she was referring to Orz.
Didn't it say, no consciousness to play? What could the failure of the Kive imply? Loss of consciousness. But Vaha would have done everything he could to prevent the worst outcome.
Yes, but if he failed, he failed.
Regardless, let's check Yolu's last location before Kivization. We can use the clues that Alezra was after to find her.
And that's why we don't know what they look like or anything, because probably they're just some Kives. They're just kiving around. Oh, let's insert Yolu's key into the Yolu's time capsule. My god, this feels so kinky.
Kivization, without the promise of a future. It was the only viable thing to do. Until the day that someone finds the stronghold. For the first and last time, I finally found my paradise.
The place where the Master left the coordinates that lead to the stronghold of the Dark Invaders. My mission ended before it could even begin. Shall I have a look at how far my mission would have taken me? Vahmalkea, North, Ankar, Wall of Giants, the Lake of Desolation, the Mountain
We have Alia Eli.
Smash, Alia Eli. The coordinates.
Yeah, that was the whole point and the way they connected it to Mountain of Eternal Winter prophecy. It was everything for Alia Eli.
Alia Black Spirit epicenter coordinates.
I'll take the coordinates to the Black Spirit's epicenter. I was going to share it, but it seems I can be rather fickle. I am curious to know how strong you've become, but I will direct you to a new coordinate that won't disappoint. The final Gladios in Atoraxxion. Something that the 4 architects couldn't even open. You will find the arena within Orzekea, the heart of immortality. Oh, you'd best hurry, or the coordinates will disappear. Do try your best not to wander astray this time. You'll need to be well rested, if you know what I mean.
What? Are you kidding me? She said she doesn't lie! She snatched the coordinates right out from under our noses!
Looks like we're out of options now. The only option is to face her in the final Gladios.
Who would have thought that we'd live to see the day that Elezra was somewhat concerned for our well-being? You sure encounter a lot of strange events in life.
Aiden, now is not the time to muse about... Please don't come with us next time. You're anything but helpful.
Now, stop fighting! Look on the bright side! Instead of saving 4, we now only have 1 person to save.
A new phrase appeared in the Soul Magia.
Could it have been Orz? This hunk of machine did spit out Orzekea, the forest which conceived the night. Assistant, the last stronghold has opened. We just gotta handle it face to face. I don't want to get crushed by an army of Ator. I plan on sticking around for a long, long time.
Newly sealed words.
I should have never returned to Atoraxxion. I could have left it in the past. Started anew, unable to even end my own life. Why would I? Why is this happening? Was it like this for the others? Vaha, Sika, Orz? Have I awakened only to suffer the agony of death? Even today I run. I flee. I don't want to die. I guess I still wish to remain among the living.
I don't want to get crushed by an army of...
Haha, at least we've come to this. But we're almost at the end. It's us or the witch. There will be only 1 survivor at the Gladios. So, are you ready? Let's brace ourselves. The last survivor of Atoraxxion. The final Gladios awaits us at Orzekea, Heart of Immortality. First of all, no it does not. I hope that players, the 2 other 3 players that actually read the story are not stupid enough to think that Elezra would put herself in harm's way like that. Because otherwise, like, you clearly haven't been playing Atoraxxion or the story like us. Elezra always planned so that she can just come and snoop victory under from, like, right from our noses. So
yep, and use us. Like, it's a pattern at this point.
Yeah, and it's like it keeps happening and happening and happens. Like, somehow our characters don't learn. It's like, oh, okay, Elezra wanted to do this, we can do this first, haha, screw you, Elezra, you weren't expecting this. And it's like, hey, I was expecting you to do that. Okay.
Attempt to access saved data detected. Next command, attempt...
And just I'm just hoping that they will make it a little bit better, the continuation of this story.
I mean, like, allegedly, the The next thing will be just like the castle of Atoraxxion.
Right. No, because it's kind of sad. Because it feels like they kind of abandoned this Ylesdra storyline for some reason.
Yeah. Did you say Land of the Morning Light Part 2?
Land of the Morning Light Part 2, which don't get me wrong, it can be fun, but like, not when you have a still part of the story to finish, you know?
But because in theory this should be the like the ending of the story starting in Balenos, you know?
Mm-hmm. And here, in case you're like us and you're like, oh, how do I get out from this place? Simply, you just disconnect and you will take you out of Atoraxxion.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, this leaves us with Atoraxxion done. At least up to this day, this is all that has been released. So if you're expecting a continuation to the story, well, keep expecting it. See you all next time. What are we gonna do next time? What are we gonna do next time?
Heidel Ball.
No, I meant as story.
Next week we won't do the lore because we are going to do Heidel Ball.
Okay. Bye, lore. Bye.